Johnny Damon leads off against Radke, and there's that sinker down and away. And very rare when Radke's first pitch, not just of a game, but his first pitch to any hitter, very rare when it's not a strike. Johnny Damon, who has been a perennial slow starter in his career, and that is a strike on the outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
But Damon definitely struggles in the cold weather. He says he just can't get loose, doesn't feel comfortable at the plate.
Damon does have 5 home runs as he fouls that one back to the screen. 68 degrees inside the Metrodome, and it is very coolish outside and wet. We had some wet, rainy weather here in the Twin Cities yesterday and today. Todd Walker on deck, and Nomar Garciaparra due up third. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Johnny Damon. Broken bat, and that is Minkiewicz, 1 away.
And that was an excellent pitch. He had thrown sinkers away, sinker away, and then all of a sudden he comes in on the hands and he jams Johnny Damon. So excellent pitching there by Radke. And that's what he does best. He uses both halves of the plate, and he has excellent control.
Now Todd Walker is coming up. Walker hitting .304, 3 homers, 22 batted in. Walker, who came up originally as a Minnesota Twin. And that is a called strike. Now, he hit a home run last night in the first inning for the Red Sox, and that ended a stretch where Twins pitching had not allowed a home run to anybody for 70 consecutive innings. And that's low and inside for a ball. So the Twins pitching had been real strong, especially lately after a slow start. And even though the Red Sox beat them last night, the Twins have won 9 of their last 11 games. So they've been playing their best ball of the year right now. Shallow center. Out is Guzman. Now Jacques Jones comes in with Torrey Hunter.
Well, who caught it? I guess Jock caught it.
Somebody caught it.
Well, Jock caught it. If you watch, what you'll see is Torrey Hunter doesn't get a good jump on the ball. Watch him in center field. He doesn't break. See, he's still standing there. And so Jacques Jones figured he would have to go get it, and he did come from left field. He's calling. He's the only one calling. He leaps up and makes the catch. Yeah, he thought his center fielder was in trouble, so he came over to help him out.
Well, all's well that ends well. No collision, nobody hurt, and the ball gets caught. Here is Nomar Garciaparra. And Nomar does not. How about this, Joe? A first pitch that was not a strike, thrown by Radke, and a pitch that Nomar did not swing at. 2 upsets on 1 pitch. I mean, Nomar's a real first pitch hitter. He swung at the first pitch 58% of his at-bats this year. I rounded it off. It's actually 57.7. So Radke behind him 2-0, and Nomar swings at this one and fouls it away. Nomar is quick to point out that he's not a necessarily a free swinger. He's still up there recognizing pitches and looking for a pitch to hit, but he does not believe in taking a pitch if it's one he should be hitting.
Well, there are a lot of different philosophies as far as hitting is concerned, the approach. A lot of guys try to get ahead in the count so they can get a hitter's pitch, but he attacks anything that he thinks he can swing at.
That's inside. 3-1 the count. Manny Ramirez would be next. Last year he had 24 homers. There's Derek Lowe, the Boston starter. Wouldn't mind if the Red Sox got him a run here right away. Last year Nomar hit 13 of his 24 homers on first pitches. There's the one-hop throw to first by Guzman, and that was no accident. It's a different game on the turf indoors. Now the Twins will be coming up.
On Saturday, for the first time ever, summer and winter ex-athletes from 6 regions of the world choose up sides. The X Games Global Championship starts Saturday at 1 on ABC, continues all week on ESPN and ESPN2.
Matthew LeCroy with a couple of homers here on Friday night. The DH, Torrey Hunter in center, Doug Minkiewicz at first, Dustin Moore, the right fielder, A.J. Pierzynski, the catcher, and Luis Rivas at second, hitting ninth. And we get a look from out there in the cheap seats in left field in at the Metrodome. And there's Derek Lowe. And look at that earned run average. This is for a guy who was one of the top pitchers in the league last year, a 21-game winner.
And he pitched a no-hitter as well. So he's pitching well at home, 2-0 at home with a 1-point-something earned run average. On the road, he gets knocked around.
Jock Jones, and that sinker misses down and away. And with Derek Lowe, you're going to see sinkers all night long.
And he has a great one.
The second base from shallow center field. There's the throw by Walker, not in time.
You know, that shows Walker, you know, on regular grass, you know, you cut the ball off. He did not go at an angle to cut the ball off. He kind of ran away, and that let the ball get too deep. Instead of going this way, he'll go back this way. And when by the time he gets it, this is the wrong guy. This is Garciaparra.
Well, that was a nice play, but that was from a different inning, Joe. Yeah, but you got spoiled working with us. You start talking about a play and it comes up. Christian Guzman, 275 average. Anyway, I didn't need to see that play. I knew what you were talking about.
You know what
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Well, AstroTurf, you have to cut the ball off. You can't run deep, because the deeper you run, the farther the ball gets out, and the deeper your throw is. Again, he doesn't cut across. He goes back that way. Same going backwards. When you go back there, you're not going to be able to throw anyone out from that deep, especially a guy like Jock Jones, a left-handed hitter. You have to either cut it off or you're not going to be able to make the play.
Guzman showing bunt, taking a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Corey Koski is on deck. Guzman, a switch hitter. He's got lots of speed, and he hits lots of triples. He's had 5 triples already this year, leading the league. In fact, he is more likely to hit a triple than any other player in the big leagues. Back to the bag. Jock Jones at first base. Jock has 6 steals to lead the Twins in that category, and he has not been thrown out yet this year. Hillenbrand on the bag with him, and they pitch out, but he wasn't going.
I think they were guessing as much with the hit and run as they were the straight steal, because Gardenhire will put runners in motion and hit and run a lot.
2-1 the count. He's not going. And that is right to the first baseman, Hillenbrand, for out number 1. So Guzman gets him over, just chopping down on one. Oftentimes you can have things work out well for you on this turf just by chopping down on one.
Well, you keep the ball in play. I mean, the ball may shoot through the infield. The ball that Jock Jones hit wasn't hit sharply, but in the right spot.
Now Corey Koski. Koski hitting .280, 4 homers, and 22 driven in. He is tied with Torrey Hunter for the club lead in RBIs. The former hockey player from Canada. And that sinker a little bit too high from Anola, Manitoba originally. Was a very fine junior A hockey player in Canada, and sometimes he plays third base like a goaltender. 1 ball to no strikes, and that is on the inside for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. We've got K-Zone with us tonight, presented by Carfax, and we'll be using K-Zone to display what pitchers are doing, how they're using the strike zone. And that is in there for a called strike. And let's take a look at that one from K-Zone, presented by Carfax.
Right on the inside corner. Koski thought it may have been inside.
Hitters just always complain on pitches inside anyway, don't they? And that one is down and in. You can see all that movement. 88-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he was trying to start it off the plate inside and move back on the inside corner, and he missed with it.
Derek Lowe trying to get it together on the road. And too far inside. 3-2 the count. You mentioned it, Joe, at Fenway.
Actually, better than I thought. I thought he was a 1 earned run average. It's 0.095.
The road, that's been a different story.
Yeah.
It's like a blowout waiting to happen so far every time he's pitched on the road. That's the shortstop, Garcia-Parra. Over to third base goes Jacques Jones. 2 down. Koski retired.
Well, you talk about chopping the ball. I mean, that's infielders have to learn to really charge the ball. See, if he waits and lets that ball bounce again, he may have a tough play at first. He charges it, then it becomes an easy play. Playing on the AstroTurf, you know you're always going to get a true hop, so you can come and get the ball whenever you make up your mind to, and that's what good infielders will do. They'll start in automatically.
Here's Matthew LeCroy, powerful right-handed batter. That sinker is too low. LeCroy hitting .297. He's got 5 homers, 19 driven in. And he has hit 4 of those homers in 2 games against the Red Sox. This weekend, he had a 2-homer game. Last weekend at Fenway, he had one. Looked like he was trying to launch that one.
That was a perfect pitch, though. That was a sinker that started over the plate, and it just, the bottom fell out of it, down and in. Perfect pitch.
I mean, if you're looking to hit a home run against Derek Lowe, you might be disappointed. That one is a fair ball. Past Miller down the line. Jacques Jones has scored, and LeCroy eases into second with a stand-up double. He delivers the clutch 2-out hit. 1-0 Minnesota.
That didn't look like a sinker to me, but it could have been. Let's take a look. No, I don't think that, it didn't sink. It looked more like a slider that stayed up. And he's able to pull it down the line fair. Jacques Jones comes home with the first run of the ball game.
So now Torrey Hunter. LeCroy getting his 20th RBI of the year. Torrey, but right back to Lowe. He got jammed in that one, and he's a 1-pitch out. But LeCroy gets the clutch hit. More toughness for Lowe on the road. And now ESPN Sunday Night Baseball continues. 1-0. The hometown 9, the Minnesota Twins, out in front of, as Peter Gammons likes to call them, the old town team, the Boston Red Sox. Manny Ramirez, the hitter, then Trot Nixon and Shea Hillenbrand. Ramirez, his teammates started calling him Ricky Henderson. That's their new nickname for Manny after his base running exploits last night. Ramirez stole a run, really, with just some heads-up base running. Radke gets him to hit the ball to Koski, who throws him out. So there is one away. Jacques Jones is wearing a microphone tonight. Before the game, he chatted with the Red Sox Kevin Millar, who had worn one a couple of weeks ago for us.
I don't know, Bob. It's good news. I was on that last Sunday night. I took an 0 for 6 in extra innings.
They say you took it and threw it.
Hey, Nick.
Tell Kevin that myth about going over with the mic on is done.
All right. So Kevin Millar took an 0 for 6 wearing a microphone, but as Jacques told Shea Hillenbrand right there, say, hey, tell Kevin that there will be no offers tonight for me.
Well, he just tells you that some players are superstitious.
Yeah, so I suppose we should never even ask Millar to wear one again.
Yeah, that may not work.
I mean, he was 0 for 6, and he made an error in the 9th inning of that game.
But a lot of times, I mean, players are superstitious. I mean, if you get hot with wearing the one type of sweatshirt or undershirt, you'll continue to wear it.
Nixon hits a foul ball down the right field line. Trot Nixon, the hitter. Nixon is hitting .333, 2 homers and 16 driven in. It's interesting, you know, the Red Sox are not just the slugging, wait for the long ball kind of a ball club right now. The Red Sox are stealing bases. They've stolen 27 bases in their 36 games, which is way up for a Red Sox team. Nixon and Rivas. And Nixon keeps on going. The play was backed up, and he is out. A.J. Pierzynski backed up the play, and Trot thought about it only when it was too late.
Well, Rivas, when you're running toward the first base line, it's kind of hard to throw behind you and be accurate. I think he had a little more time than he may have realized, but he makes a fine play to get there. Now watch these. His momentum is taking him toward the line, and that's where the throw is, on the outside part of the bag. But the first base coach was trying to stop him, but he had made up his mind to go, and he just continues on into the out.
And Pierzynski was right where he was supposed to be.
I'm assuming they're scoring that as an error.
An error on Rivas.
Yeah.
And then Nixon out at second from the catcher to the shortstop, Christian Guzman. Hillenbrand is the hitter. Backing up. I mean, you don't often get any kind of glory just by backing something up.
Well, you know what happens? You back up 20 times, and one time it'll mean something, as it did there, and that's what you're supposed to do.
I mean, that was the first thing that my dad taught me when I was 9 years old playing Little League.
Little League, about Bob.
With the, Bob Bird Insurance.
Yeah.
East Bay Lumber.
Yeah.
So I got traded. Radke gets the put out there. Hillenbrand gone. 1-0 Twins as we head to the last of the second.
Super 8 takes us to Texas. Rangers and the Tribe. Rafael Palmeiro looking for number 500.
He beats it. Right field. Baseball history in Arlington.
So Texas wins it 17-10. Palmeiro, the 19th guy ever to get to 500. Guys, I'm playing hurt. Is this his ticket to Cooperstown?
Dave, are you okay? That's like a broadcaster's hamstring muscle pull.
Oh, okay.
You got like a sore throat, you know?
Oh, okay, Dave.
Yeah, poor Dave.
Hang in there.
He's playing hurt. We feel bad for him.
Yeah, I have some tea here, Dave.
But that's not a problem for us. John Miller, Joe Morgan, your Sunday night telecasters, full-throated, no problems with our vocal cords, not tonight.
And we're very...
Here's Mankiewicz and a slider from Lowe inside for a ball.
And we're very happy to congratulate Rafael. We're good friends of both of ours, for hitting his 500th home run and joining all those immortals with 500+ home runs. That's a big number.
Hey, I mean, that's still a very exclusive list.
Club. Yeah.
I mean, you're up there. I mean, you're among the best of the best. There's no question about it.
Yeah, when you get to 500, I mean, you know that you're one of the elite home run hitters in the history of the game. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. Got a lot of guys are saying that, well, 500 is easier to attain now. 500 is 500.
Yeah. Ooh. That's what my friend from San Francisco, Mike Krukow, calls an umpire's balk. C.B. Buckner started to ring him up and then thought better of it.
Well, let's see what. Well, he got it right anyway, according to K-Zone.
Yeah. Presented by Carfax. I mean, he started to go. And he said, "No, I'm wrong. That's not a strike. I've got to call it right." Well, that wasn't a strike either, but it looked like one when Mankiewicz started that swing, and then it just disappeared.
That's what Derek Lowe does best, especially when he gets 2 strikes on a hitter. He starts it in the strike zone. The ball actually started up here, but by the time it got to the plate, it had sunk down and out of the strike zone.
Mankiewicz really struggling at the start of this year, hitting only .227 coming into the game. So he's gone. Here is Dustin Moore. Moore hitting .284, 4 homers, 10 batted in. That's the slider is popped up foul and out of play into the lower deck seats here at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome.
If you're a right-handed hitter especially, and Derek Lowe throws you a slider, I would think you would have to swing at it no matter where it is, if it's, if you can reach it, because that slider is much easier to hit than his sinking fastball. You can do more with the slider. You can drive the slider. The sinking fastball is a very difficult pitch to hit.
And that's down and away. So in other words, you've got to read the spin to know if it's the slider.
Yeah. There are certain guys, I mean, if a knuckleball pitcher's throwing and he throws you anything but a knuckleball, you swing. I mean, that's the way it is. If he throws you a slider or a curveball or whatever, you swing at it.
2 balls and a strike. Derek Lowe trying to get it put back together. I mean, he had just a tremendous year for Boston last year. He's one of the top starters in the league. That one is through the middle. A Metrodome hit for Dustin Moore. 1 out, 1 on for the Twins, who lead already 1-0. Tonight's game and every Sunday night game also being broadcast on ESPN Radio and televised in Spanish throughout the United States on ESPN Deportes. So there's the ESPN Radio crew. Dave Campbell on the left and Dan Shulman on the right. Talking it over. And over in the Deportes booth, our old friend Candy Maldonado, and on the right, Ernesto Jerez, the play-by-play man. Bienvenidos a la Metrodome. Para más información sobre ESPN Deportes, llame a su operador de cable o visite espndeportes.com. Joe asked me to add that.
Let them know where we are, where they can find it.
Or as Joe's often said to me many times, and when we've been in real heated discussions, en boca cerrada no entran moscas. That's a base hit for A.J. Pierzynski. Moore goes to second. And if you laughed at my little joke there, you need to call your cable operator about getting ESPN Deportes. So 2 men on, Moore at second, Pierzynski at first. Here's A.J. He came in hitting .265. Well, now, I mean, ground balls on the turf. I mean, that's the sort of the difficulty for a sinker baller, right?
Well, remember years ago there were a lot of AstroTurf fields, especially in the National League, and that's what you wanted your guys to do, hit the ground ball and hope that it would find a hole.
Rivas, he found a hole right along the line. Coming around third is Moore. He'll score. Going to third, Pierzynski. Rivas will go to second with a double, and the Twins are pounding the ball on the ground and have 3 straight hits. Pierzynski with a late slide into third, helped up by Albert D. Newman, the coach over there. The trainer's going to come out and make sure he's okay.
Well, he may have slipped because there was no reason for him to slide. So there wasn't even a throw that direction. A high fastball up, and he hits it down the right field line. Good job by Nixon to cut it off. Now he throws home. See, there's no play at third. I don't know why he would have slid into third base. They weren't even throwing that way.
Well, he doesn't even look dirty. I don't know if he maybe
I think he tripped. He must have just tripped or something. Yeah, he's going in. He didn't slide there. He twisted his ankle standing up. He looked away, and he looked like he hit the inside corner of the bag with his left ankle. Because there was no play at third, so he didn't need to slide.
Now Jacques Jones, who got an infield single and scored a run his first time. Now he's trying to be an RBI man as he fouls one back out of play. Jacques hitting .348 for the season. He's one of the top hitters in the league right now, and he has 16 runs batted in, which is pretty good for a leadoff hitter this time of the year. The infield is back except for the third baseman, Miller. And Jacques chasing that high fastball, and quickly he's behind in the count, 0-2 now.
And John, with this being Mother's Day, I saw an interesting story about Jacques. His mom, Linda Falk, actually took him to his first tryout. He took him to his first T-ball tryout at 8 at Pony League. At 8, she encouraged him to play baseball and took him to all the tryouts, and she kind of just pushed him along the way.
Sinker inside. Jacques took it. 1 ball, 2 strike. Well, his mom, Linda Falk, is here at the Metrodome this weekend.
It's interesting, though. She was the one that said, no, you should go try out for a pony league. And he said, okay, I'll try it, Mom, if you want me to. And he's been playing baseball ever since.
And that's a base hit into the right field corner. Pierzynski scores. Rivas scores as Nixon hits the deck out there. And Jacques going for 3. And he's got him. 4-0 Minnesota.
John, you mentioned something I didn't get a chance to comment on it, and that is the fact that a sinker ball pitcher has problems on AstroTurf. And that may be one of the reasons you were talking about Radke struggling at home. If you're a sinker ball pitcher that stays around the plate, keeps the ball down, you're going to give up ground balls. And if they hit these ground balls sharply, as this one is hit, then there's no chance for your infielders to really react and chase them down. And as the ball went into the corner, this was a double. But Nixon failed in the outfield, and he decided to go for third, and he goes over to third base easily.
Well, Jacques and his Twins are doing everything well right now against Derek Lowe. 4-0 Minnesota. It's 4 consecutive ground ball hits for the Twins here.
And you see the Red Sox are going to play the infield halfway or in a little bit, and that gives you even less range.
Christian Guzman chops up down on it, and that'll get a run home. Lowe throws him out, but Guzman, for the second time in a row, chopped down on one, and this time he gets an RBI for his efforts. 5-0.
Well, great job by Jacques Jones, because he took off immediately. I mean, he did not wait to react to it. He took off immediately. Watch, as soon as this ball hits the ground, boom, he's coming. There he comes. And Derek Lowe does a good job of deciding, I can't get him at home, I'll just throw to first base and take the out. But heads up base running there by Jacques Jones.
Well, that was a good shot to see Jacques and the action at home plate all in the same shot. So the Twins are up 5-0 here in the second inning, and Corey Koski takes a called strike. And for Derek Lowe, this is probably not so much different than a lot of his games on the road this year. Another little chop, and Lowe throws out Koski, and that's the inning. But the Minnesota Twins score 4 runs on 4 ground ball hits. 5-0 Twins. There's the familiar baseball colored roof at the Metrodome as Bill Miller leads off against Brad Radke. Radke suddenly has a 5-run lead with which to work as he throws Miller a called strike. Miller, by the way, something to keep an eye on tonight, has in each of the last 8 games that he's played had an extra base hit. And he's hitting .346 overall for the year. A foul that will go back out of play. And it is 0-2. Red Sox have not had a guy with 9 straight games with at least 1 extra base hit since 1977, when Butch Hobson did it. Bill Miller with Jeremy Giambi and Jason Varitek to follow. Miller's been hot lately. Wow. The bat flew to the right, and the ball bounced to the left.
When I watch Bill Miller hit, I mean, he's a battler at the plate. I mean, he battles every place, but I mean, he looks like he's fighting the ball off most of the time, even when he gets base hits. And this one is, he definitely tries to fight off. It's a fastball on the way off the plate inside, and he swings at it, and it hits him about halfway up the handle and shatters his bat.
2 strikes to Miller. He's got a new piece of wood out there as Radke goes back to work. A little bit high. C.B. Buckner is the home plate umpire. Tony Randazzo at first, Tim McClellan at second, Ted Barrett at third. And the crew asked us to wish their mothers a happy Mother's Day on their behalf. And C.B. Buckner related that his mom is watching this game. She lives in Jamaica, and she's watching the ball game in Jamaica. There's the umpire crew. So happy Mother's Day on behalf of CB, even all the way down to Jamaica in the Caribbean. And Miller strikes out on the high hard one. 1 away. Well, we've seen over the years what the Metrodome can do to visiting teams, maybe even tonight. Here's the next poll question. Which ballpark gives its team the best home field advantage? Is it here, the Metrodome, or is it Fenway Park? Is it Yankee Stadium, Safeco Field, Pacific Bell Park, or the Expos' part-time home, Iram Bithorn Stadium down in San Juan?
I can vote on that.
Oh, now you want to vote?
Yankee Stadium, I would say.
You think that's the best home field advantage? The big ballpark.
You're fighting not only the Yankees, but the ghosts. You're fighting the monuments in left field and the fans. I mean, there's everything about Yankee Stadium fits the Yankees and their image.
1-1 to Jeremy Giambi.
But a lot of the other parks are great.
And the fans are
they get
fabulous.
Into it. Right. So, I mean, I think it's...
Another changeup. 1-2 the count. On the other hand, Joe, the Twins have done pretty well here at the Metrodome since it opened. This is the 22nd year of baseball in this ballpark. Look at that. That's the largest home field advantage in actual terms of, winning percentage, home and road, since 1982, since the ballpark opened. Not that I'm saying that I'm...
I will just be blunt with you. That's a deceiving statistic. Well, it's deceiving because they haven't won as many games, at home as somebody else has.
That's true.
As
maybe the Yankees.
Yankees have. Yeah. I mean, that's just deceiving. They haven't won as many games, so the disparity is greater for the home side.
Now, the Mariners do pretty well at Safeco Field.
Right, exactly.
The Giants do real well at Pacific Bell Park.
I didn't say that the other ones weren't great home field advantage. I just said the Yankees were not. That's why I would never vote on the best player stuff.
That is up the middle for a base hit, and Jeremy Giambi, I mean, he's happy to get one. He's not had too many this year. He came into this game hitting 159. That's his 11th hit of the year and his 64th at bat.
This is a ball running away from him. Actually, it's off the plate outside even, and he hits it. So I guess we see that guys hit balls inches off the plate, but when they're called off, they get upset if the umpire calls them a strike, especially with 2 strikes.
So if he hadn't have swung at that one and Buckner had called it a strike, he would have been a little upset.
Yeah. But I guess from a hitter's perspective, I have 3 strikes coming. How I use them was up to me.
Yeah. But, I think he did the right thing. 2 strikes.
Right. I agree. I agree.
Here's Varitek. That's in. Well, who am I arguing with then?
Yeah, you're arguing with Giambi probably, because he would probably say, I want that. If I didn't swing it, I don't want it to be called a strike.
Well, and he has a pretty good eye. Giambi does not often swing at pitches out of the strike zone, and he gets a lot of walks. So he's at first. Varitek the hitter. Another switch hitter for the Red Sox. 1 out, 1 on. And that foul goes back and out of play. Anyway, if you want to vote in the Nextel poll question, log on to ESPN.com. You can vote there online, or you can use your Nextel phone to place a vote. And maybe you want to express a protest. Maybe you think that the ballpark that we didn't list is the best home field advantage. Cardinal fans might feel that Busch Stadium is a good home field.
I protested when they had the best players and they didn't have Soriano on that list, so you can make a protest.
If we had just knew who they were.
I didn't make the list. Yeah, whoever makes the list.
So you don't make the list then?
No, I don't make the list. I'm not involved there.
I always thought it was you.
No, I'm not involved.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Varitek and a pop-up. Koski. And Varitek is gone with Giambi having to hold it first. 2 down. He's over there with Minkiewicz.
One thing about the Twins, I mean, as you mentioned earlier, they're starting to play much better. They went to spring training, their confidence had to be high, and after what they did last year, and thinking, well, we'll get off to a good start and we'll just win our division and try to, get back to the World Series. Obviously, they got off to a slow start, but I have to say I'm real happy with what Gardenhire does with these guys. I mean, he's the right guy, I think, for this team. I mean, he works with the guys, and he keeps them loose, and he keeps them from getting too down. When things didn't start off well, he kept them up, and now things are starting to turn around for them.
Johnny Damon, the former Kansas City Royal. That's where he started his career. And his former club, Kansas City, is the one that actually leads the Central Division now. The Twins are in 2nd place. Damon takes a ball.
Kansas City is coming here to play the Twins. It'll be some big games this week.
Yeah, they get what?
I think they have
18, 19 games against each other all together. They'll have a lot of chances. And the Royals will be here tomorrow night to open a 4-game series, and then the White Sox come in. So the White Sox figure that they're going to be a contender as well.
And they better hurry up and start hitting. I'm really surprised because they have so many good hitters on that team that they have not been able to score many runs, the White Sox. They have not been nearly as consistent as I thought they would be.
Well, I think that they got a lot of hits still to come then.
Yeah.
I mean, they got too many guys who know how to hit for those averages to stay as low as they've been. 2-2 to Damon, as we see from the K zone.
Now that's really on the outside edge. Half the ball's on and half off.
He painted the corner.
Yeah.
2-2 the count. Struck him out. He went back to the inside. So Radke mixing it up. One man left. LeCroy coming up. 5-0 Minnesota.
Getting to the ALCS and finishing a little short. I think we wanted to come into spring training and try to work hard and get to the World Series, because watching it on TV is no fun.
Well, I think we know what he meant. It was not fun for the guy who thought that he maybe was going to be in the World Series to watch.
Yeah. I talked to Ron, Gardenhire, the manager, and he said that they were very professional in spring training. They weren't overconfident, and they went out and worked just as hard as they did the year before. Even though they got off to a slow start this year.
1-2 to Torrey, and Torrey himself had been showing signs of coming around offensively. But he came into the game hitting only .219, and he's 0 for 1 in the game. Inside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Torrey Hunter last year had 29 homers, 94 batted in, and hit .289. 23 steals. He played Gold Glove quality center field. Oh, that one just disappeared. Strike 3.
That's been one of his problems that he also explained in our interview today, is that he's been chasing a lot of pitches out of the strike zone. And this one, again, that's a tough pitch for a right-hander to lay off on. You can see it's sinking down and away, and with 2 strikes, it starts up, but by the time it gets to the plate, it's already, the bottom has fallen out, so tough to lay off of.
2 down. Derek Lowe trying to get it back together here. He gave up 4 consecutive ground ball hits.
Yeah. And you touched on it. I mean, that's the difficulty of pitching on AstroTurf fields if you're a sinker ball pitcher. I mean, if the ground balls aren't hit at someone, you're going to be in trouble.
That ball is belted deep into right center, but right there is Nixon. And Minkiewicz is retired, and so are the Twins. Lowe rebounded nicely. Walker, then Nomar coming up. 5-0 Minnesota. Brad Radke, the Minnesota right-hander. Radke and the Twins are out in front, 5-0. Walker in a shallow fly ball to center, his first time. We mentioned the White Sox. They lost today to Seattle 7-2. And Jamie Moyer beat the White Sox. And Mark Burley got the loss. Another guy who's in the slump at the start of the year. He's 2-6. That one is caught in right field by Moore. That one was up there for a long time. So Walker is gone. 1 down. Nomar. And then Manny Ramirez behind him. There's the look from the stands behind the backstop as Nomar stands in. Nomar goes through all those little gyrations. And he says that he likes the batting gloves to be very tight around his fingers. And he likes his shoes to be very tight. Likes his toes to be real tight up at the end of the shoes. And it's not just a superstitious thing that he just does the same thing every time. He just wants it all to be feeling real tight. No swing, says Tony Randazzo on that one. A ball and no strikes to Nomar, who grounded it short his first time. Trying to get the Red Sox going here. They've only had 1 hit. That one hit sharply foul. And past Mike Cubbage, the Boston third base coach.
You can see he's pulling on his gloves, trying to keep them tight.
A ball and a strike. and that's foul.
Just about every player uses, batting gloves now, and there's a young fella got him a souvenir. But you have to have a perfect fitting pair of batting gloves in order to make it work. Because if they're loose, I can see where Nomar would have problems with them.
Into left field, Jacques Jones. Radke took a little something off that one.
Change up.
2 down. By the way, tomorrow night, more baseball on ESPN. Monday Night Baseball. It'll be the Atlanta Braves, and they are on a roll. They've won 21 of their last 25. Gary Sheffield is just having a fabulous season up till now. They take on Sean Green and the Dodgers. And Shane Reynolds, the former Astro, picked up by the Braves. He'll go tomorrow. He's pitched well. And Hideo Nomo for the Dodgers. That's 10 o'clock, 7 Pacific on ESPN 2 tomorrow night. Here's Manny Ramirez. Change up, too low. 1 ball and no strikes. Manny grounded out to third his first time. 5-0. The Twins are leading.
And you see 4 home runs, 23 RBIs. Not great numbers for Manny because, at this time normally he has about 8 home runs, 30 RBIs, but he's still hitting over 300.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, there's the average here for Manny over an 8-year period. 36 homers, 121 batted in. Batting title last year. Fouled that one off his leg. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we told you about how he scored the run last night with some heads-up base running from third base in the 9th inning that proved to be the winning run. And Wednesday in Kansas City, he stole third base. So Manny in the Boston clubhouse is no longer Manny. He is Ricky, a la Ricky Henderson. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brad Radke has given up just 1 hit, has a 5-0 lead. The 1 hit was the Giambi single in the 3rd. That one way inside. 2-2. Now Radke is looking pretty sharp right now.
Well, he's getting ahead of the hitters, and that pitch was, for a purpose, to move him off the plate or to try to set up the outside corner or to run one off the plate inside. When you get ahead of the hitter and you miss inside, it gives you a lot of options.
2-2. He goes outside and misses. 3-2. But now, even when you're pitching as well as Radke is, you face Manny Ramirez. You're facing one of the best hitters in the game.
And you're definitely trying to be careful.
3-2. In the right center field, Torrey Hunter. He got there. One of the best, Torrey Hunter. 5-0 Twins.
Monday on Outside the Lines Nightly. Verbal abuse, pornography, even death threats.
He pointed to me and he says, and then I'm going to kill you.
Welcome aboard a Major League Baseball charter flight. Outside the Lines Nightly immediately after Sports Center.
Twins 5-0 over the Red Sox. Torrey Hunter made quite a play to end the last inning. Joe Morgan talked to him about defense before the game.
I think it takes extra focus to play defense.
It does. You got to go out there no matter what. You can have 0 for 4, 0 for 5. A lot of guys can't, separate the two. A lot of guys go out there thinking about their at bats, and next thing you know, a ball hit to them, and they're jumping like, oh, But I go out there, and defense is what got me to the major leagues. I'm never going to forget that. And if I don't have a good defensive day and I go 3 for 4, I'm sad. I go home sad because I didn't have a good defensive day. But I have to go out there and pride myself on defense.
And that's perfect. That's where players are supposed to be. If you're not having a good offensive day, you can make up and help your team defensively, and he does that.
Dustin Moore, the hitter here against Lowe. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Moore got the Twins started in the 2nd inning with a single, a ground ball single. It was the first of 4 consecutive ground ball hits, and they scored 4 runs. Nomar. Oh, he did not get it.
And that's another AstroTurf hit because the ball bounces so high, and the runners, if he's hustling down the line, and he's a quick runner, as Dustin Moore is, it's just a difficult play. You watch Garciaparra, he tries to get rid of it quickly. See, now watch, it takes another high hop. So now he has to catch it. Now he tries to hurry, but not in time. And if you're a Twins player, you know if I hustle down the line, I'm going to get me 2 or 3 of these during the year.
Yeah, or maybe in a homestand.
Right.
Here's Pierzynski. That's a ground ball foul. Well, look at this. The Twins now have 7 hits. And they've all been ground balls.
Yeah. Well, and that's good. Like you said, that shows why this is a home field advantage for the Twins. This AstroTurf field, their hitters take advantage of it, try to keep the ball out of the air, hit line drives and ground balls. That's what you're trying to do.
But not perhaps as good a home field advantage as Yankee Stadium. Runner going, and that one hit him. Moore was running on the pitch, and he got a hit with that ground ball by Pierzynski. So he is out, although Pierzynski will get credit for a hit.
Well, he sees it coming, then he looks away. Well, he tries to jump over it, and it hits his back leg. Now watch his left leg. He kicks it up in the air, and it hits him as it goes by. I'm not sure that Walker would have been able to make the play or not. He had made a dive for it.
So actually that, well, Moore's going back up with the trainer right there just to make sure he's okay. Here's Rivas. He got a ground ball double that went right past the first base bag, his first time to knock in a run. Todd Walker gets credit for the put out on Moore as the closest man to him. But Pierzynski gets credit for a hit. Rivas 1 for 1. Up the middle, another ground ball base hit. And Rivas, he may figure he's got a few coming to him. He came into the game hitting only 191 for the year. But here he is, 2 for 2 against Derek Lowe.
Well, the one thing, the problem you have is if they know a fastball's coming, they're going to sit on it, even though it's a sinker. They're going to hit the top of it, but luckily it goes right between his legs and does not hit Derek Lowe and goes on in the center field for a base hit.
Well, you saw how Lowe kind of tumbles down off the mound, and that kind of cost him that time. He was not in any kind of position to field that comebacker.
I don't think there are any pitchers who are going to be good fielders on AstroTurf. That ball gets back at you so quickly, you're just glad to get out of the way.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Here's Jacques Jones now. He has had an infield hit and scored a run, and then his last time he slashed a ground ball triple to knock in 2, and then later also scored again. He's 2 for 2, 2 batted in and 2 scored. 2-0. His mom, Linda Falk, is here, and look at that. She got herself a Mother's Day gift. She's in town. Jacques invited her out for the Mother's Day weekend. That's a foul ball down off his foot. He says he talks to his mom after every game. What did she get, Joe?
Well,
beautiful.
That's artwork. Now we're hoping to talk with
Linda,
Jacques' mom, Linda, later on in the telecast, so we'll have to ask her.
John, you know, one of the problems if you're Derek Lowe, you say, what do I do here? What can I change? There's really nothing he can change. He can't turn into a riding fastball pitcher, meaning throw and try to get some pop-ups or change-ups and try to strike the hitters out. I mean, he depends on his infielders making plays, and on AstroTurf, they're just not able to make those plays because they can't have the range that you need to cover a lot of these ground balls. One of the criteria for playing infield on AstroTurf field is quickness, not necessarily speed, but that first step. You have to be very quick on the first step in order to, cut off some of these balls. And that's when you're building an AstroTurf team, that's what you look for, quickness, not necessarily all speed, but quickness.
Well, Lowe has now allowed 9 hits in the game. They've all been ground balls.
Yeah.
Jacques Jones with 2 men on, 1 man out. That is a line drive and through. Over to third and holding is Pierzynski, and now the bases are loaded. That's the 4th consecutive hit of this inning. But one of those hits was Pierzynski hitting Dustin Moore with with his ground ball.
Well, it's going to be a sinker down, and that's just good hitting there by Jones. You have to give the hitter some credit sometimes. That pitch is diving down and away, and he just goes the other way with it. Now, if he tries to pull that ball, he's probably going to hit a ground ball a short or second, and maybe you could get the double play that Derek Lowe was looking for.
So Jack Jones brought his mom to town, and Jacques giving her perhaps the ultimate Mother's Day gift that she was hoping for. He's having an outstanding ball game. Ball one to Christian Guzman, and there is Bruce Chen getting ready in the Boston bullpen now. Red Sox have sent 19 hitters to the plate against Lowe tonight, and 10 of them have hits. As Guzman pulls it foul. Guzman has chopped down a couple of grounders off that dirt in front of the plate. On one of them, he got an RBI, and he is 0 for 2 in the game. Bases loaded. The Twins with an opportunity here to break this game open early. We're only in the 4th. They already have a 5-run lead. Guzman in the last 5 years has hit 48 triples, 11 more than the guy who's got the second highest total in that period. Left center, and dropped by Giambi. Pierzynski and Rivas both score. Jones to third, Guzman to second, and Jeremy Giambi dropped the ball. 7-0.
Well, they're not hitting a lot of fly balls, so they do finally hit one, a line drive, and Giambi got there. So he gets there, just hits in his glove and drops down. One run was going to score, but now 2 runners score, and they have runners at second and third now.
Tony Cloninger going out to the mound, meanwhile, to visit with Lowe. Manny Ramirez, in the American League, you can get sort of a night off and still be in the batting order.
Right.
By being the designated hitter that night. There's Tony Cloninger out to the mound to talk to Derek Lowe, who is behind in this game 7-0.
Well, how do they score that? I mean, because there was going to be a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, sacrifice fly.
And an error.
And a run batted in.
Right. And
then the error, allowing the second run to score and allowing Guzman to reach base.
Yeah, because that means that Guzman is not charged with an at-bat.
Guzman is 0 for 2 and has 2 RBIs now. Here's Corey Koski. 7-0. The Twins are leading. Koski has grounded out to short and chopped one back to the pitcher. The infield comes in for Boston. They're already behind by too many runs as it is. Sinker called a strike, and it is 0-1. Derek Lowe. I mean, it's become an all too familiar story for him on the road this year. Well, that one just disappeared, moving down and away. Meanwhile, Brad Radke, he's only allowed 1 hit. 7-0. The Twins out in front. Inside, and to move out of the way of that one. Derek Lowe, in his last start on the road, lasted only 2+ innings at Texas. Gave up 7 runs, and the Rangers won that game 16-5. He's had 2 other games in a row where he got knocked around. Well, Giambi's going to get another opportunity to catch one, and this one he does. Tagging up, Jack Jones, he scores. Also tagging and moving up is Guzman. Koski gets the RBI. 8-0 Minnesota.
Well, good job by Koski. He got it into the outfield down the line, and you can see Guzman goes back and tags up. You normally do not tag up on a ball hit down the left field line, but because it was a left-handed thrower, he had to spin all the way around. And by the time he did so, meaning Giambi, he was able to get to third.
Ball one to Matthew Lecroy. Lecroy had 2 home runs last night. Tonight already has an RBI double. And has also hit one back to Lowe. 8-0. The Twins lead. We're in the 4th inning. 2 down. He chased that sinker. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, maybe, I mean, usually you go halfway, right? Because
right.
If the guy doesn't make the catch, then you score.
And that wasn't an easy catch. I mean, so.
Maybe he figured, what are the odds that he'll drop another one? Right?
Good point. No, I mean, it's a good point. I mean,
he's dropped the one. He's definitely not dropping this one.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it was not like he never got squared up under that fly ball either.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going back the whole time. A ball and 2 strikes to Lecroy. Just got a piece of that one. Derek Lowe on the road. Look at that. Get me home to Fenway. And usually, you know, over the years, Fenway was not a place that you'd say a guy would want to pitch because he pitches so well there. Fenway has been a hitter's ballpark most of the years, although nowadays there's been so many new ballparks. There have been so many new ballparks built that are real hitters' ballparks. Yeah. Fenway is now really just an average ballpark for offense.
Yeah.
Although the Red Sox still hit pretty well there. Well, a slider. Lecroy just got a piece of that one. He's fighting off tough pitches here from Derek Lowe. Red Sox come into this game knowing that with a win they would gain ground on the Yankees. The Oakland Athletics won another series from the Yankees. Mark Mulder today got the best of Andy Pettitte out at the Coliseum. Lecroy bounces that one foul. So Oakland won a series at Yankee Stadium last week and in Oakland against the Yankees this weekend. They are the only team to have won a series from the Yankees this year. Todd Walker, the former Twin, and his Red Sox getting clobbered right now. Oh, that one looked pretty good to me.
Take a look at the K zone. Yeah, but not that much outside.
All right, K zone. K zone keeps showing me up every time I. Well, Lecroy chased that one and didn't get it. The slider, and he is tagged out by Varitek. 3 more with the Twins. They lead 8-0 after 4.
All right, kids, today we're going to rob a home run, and this is how it's done.
Major League Baseball Charities is a proud partner of Boys and Girls Clubs of America.
Come on, you got to rob back.
You guys want to know about the Rally Cab? Make a big W. This is an important part of baseball.
Through programs like RBI and Rookie League, they bring baseball and softball to kids around the world.
Ooh, you're supposed to jump.
Together, they create a positive place for kids.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh!
Sports Center in game, as John mentioned, the A's topping the Yanks today. Miguel Tejada with the home run here. 5-2 the final. The A's 23-14. Best start in 13 years, guys.
This is nothing personal for Dave Refson, but Dave, speak up, will you?
I hear you, Dave.
Dave's
a little under the weather.
Laryngitis or something going there. That's a good sound for him, though. Here's Trot Nixon to lead it off for the Red Sox against Brad Radke, and a first pitch strike ended his 0-1.
In between innings, John, we saw Tony Cloninger, the pitching coach, talking to Derek Lowe, and, you know, trying to make some sense of everything that's happening to him this year, you know, from on the road especially. And it has to be difficult because, you know, you're coming off your best season of your life. You know, you have some complication in the off season that keep you from working out and getting all your spring training work in. And all of a sudden, I mean, you're off to a slow start.
After just a great year last year, Torrey Hunter, and he'll let Jacques Jones help him out. Torrey got a late break on that one as well. And there is one away. By the way, our telecast tonight is on our ESPN HD service, our new high-definition service. And we've got the set back here. Joe brought his high-definition television into the booth. And, I mean, the picture is sensational. You see more of what's going on in the ball game. And it's all made possible with the help of Philips and Best Buy. And if you don't have it on either your cable provider or your satellite provider, well, contact them and tell them you want it. Tell them you want ESPN's HD service.
And, John, it makes you feel like you're really sitting right there in the dugout. I mean, it's the close-ups and everything are just perfect. It's a new innovation in sports television.
I mean, it's an amazing experience to see one.
Is.
With the high definition, not just the clarity, but you see a lot more. That is Guzman, and he throws out Hillenbrand. Well, Radke is making it look ridiculously easy, and he has not pitched well at the Metrodome yet this year. His record here is almost the same as Lowe's record on the road.
Right.
He's been getting lit up at the Metrodome, but not tonight. Like the Twins took a little heat off him early on.
Heat.
A run in the first and 3 in the second. They had a 4-0, or rather 5-0. 4 runs in the second, 5-0 lead after only 2 innings for him.
John, I remember something Jack Billingham, one of my favorite all-time teammates, used to say. He said, Joe, you give me 7, I'm in heaven. Give me 8, we'll skate. Give me 9, we'll be fine. But if you get 10, I know I can win. So they've put Radke past heaven so far. He's up 8-0.
Bill Miller, the hitter. Miller struck out his first time. Well, you know, Radke, he had a start here against the Blue Jays. He went 3 innings, gave up 8 runs. Miller down the right field line into the corner. Is it going to be fair? It's a home run. And Bill Miller, for the 9th consecutive game, has an extra base hit. He's the first Red Sox player to do that since Butch Hobson in 1977. And that is the first Red Sox run of the game.
You know what's great about that, John? The adjustment Bill Miller made. He struck Miller out with a fastball up and in his last at bat. Now watch this. He tries to come up and in again, and Miller drills it. It's even off the plate. But he was smart enough. He made the adjustment to how they got him out last time, and he hits the ball out of the ballpark, even though it wasn't a strike. He struck out on the same pitch up and in his first at bat.
Now Giambi down the left field line. Jacques Jones started over, but it's well back into the crowd. 3rd home run of the year for Bill Miller. Well, I guess we know now why Bill Miller's hitting around 350 this year.
Yeah, making adjustments. I mean, that's what hitting is all about. You make adjustments to how they pitch you. And he struck him out up and in the last time. He tried to do it again. Didn't work.
So the Red Sox have one of those runs back. 7 to go. 8-1 now. Minnesota. Bill Miller. His first year with the Red Sox. Derek Lowe, who's having a nightmare so far. That changeup over the outside for a strike to Giambi. Giambi had the only other Boston hit. He singled to center back in the 3rd inning. Well, after that drop fly ball, I'm sure he badly wants a hit right now. He needs a hit. That's down and in. I suppose that could work against you too, right? You're exactly hurting a little bit from making a defensive miscue. You might go up there and try a little too hard.
Well, it's exactly the way Torrey Hunter described it, though, John. When you're in the batter's box, you think hitting.
Shallow center. Hunter. No. Fell in front of him. Hunter knocked it down with the body. Keep it in front of him. And Giambi is 2 for 2.
John, I want to show you what I was talking about with Bill Miller in his first at bat tonight. He strikes out on the fastball up and in right there. So he strikes out. Now they try to go up and in again when he comes up here in the 4th inning, and we'll see what he did with that pitch. I mean, but that's what hitters do. They adjust to how the hitter got him out, the pitcher got him out before, because they know that he's going to come back to that same pitch.
about Jason Varitek? He popped out to third his first time. Red Sox catcher. That one into center field. Torrey Hunter's going way back and is there. 408 feet to straightaway center. That's the wrong place to hit it. 1 run. 8-1 Minnesota. Torrey Hunter coming up. There is Bruce Chen. Just claimed on waivers for the Astros this past Wednesday. He joined the Red Sox Friday here in Minnesota. He had made 11 relief appearances for the Astros this year with a 6.0 ERA. And then they put him out there. So now Chen, his first American League game. He's been with several teams, but all in the National League. And the count is 0-1 to Torrey Hunter. Hunter, who's been sensational in the field, but is looking for a hit right now. He's 0 for 2. Chen in relief of Derek Lowe. 8-1 Minnesota. That's a little bit low. Chen has been with the Braves, the Phillies, the Mets, the Expos, the Reds, and started this year with the Astros.
Well, he's left-handed. That gives you a lot of chances.
Torrey Hunter chased that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now, I've always maintained if you're left-handed, you know, there's always a need for a left-handed pitcher in the major leagues out of the bullpen.
And that's a base hit. Hit sharply on the ground, across the carpet, past Todd Walker, and Hunter gets his first hit. Torrey Hunter made a beautiful catch on a ball back in the 4th inning. Jacques Jones made a comment on it. He's around a microphone. Let's go back.
That's why he's the best in the game. Best in the game right there. He don't get no hits. Huh? You don't get no what? All right.
You know what that shows me right there is a teammate giving encouragement. You know, he knows that he's going to play great defense. He doesn't have any hits. You know, they're getting lots of hits, and he didn't have one. So, you know, Jacques Jones is kind of encouraging him. Do what you do, and the hits will come. And now he walks up and gets a base hit.
So Torrey is aboard. Minkiewicz the hitter. Minkiewicz, another guy who could use a hit. He's 0 for 2. Minkiewicz, I mean, they have 11 hits, and we're talking about guys that need a hit on their club. But Minkiewicz has been struggling big time with the bat. Only 2 homers, 8 batted in. Hitting in the 220s. Well, he gets himself a hit right there. And Torrey Hunter, who's a very fast runner, easily over to third as Damon gets it back into second.
Well, the pitch was up. The pitch to Torrey Hunter was not a bad pitch. It was down, and he got a base hit. But this pitch you're going to find is going to be up, and you can't pitch up there if you don't have good velocity on your fastball. You have to be overpowering to pitch up in the top of the strike zone. And the base hit. Now you have runners at first and third.
So 2 of the Twins who needed base hits have gotten them. And that's strike 1 to Dustin Moore. He's had 2 hits already. 2 for 2. He also get a hit by a would-be base hit by Pierzynski. Pierzynski got credit for a hit on it, but could well have been a base hit and more. But Moore got hit by the pitch, or by the ground ball. So apparently he's okay. He went back up with the trainer. Looked like it hit him in the foot. There's Torrey Hunter at third base. Doug Minkiewicz at first. Hillenbrand on the bag with him. Nobody out. Ooh.
Way out in front of the changeup. Even though it was up.
That's like pulling off a magic trick. You make a big league hitter look like that.
Yeah, especially when you get that ball up a little bit. But the bottom falls out of it after it passed the plate.
Yeah, the catcher caught that one well below the knees. Fastball. Following the changeup with the high hard one, and he blew it by him. 1 away. We're at the Metrodome in Minneapolis on Mother's Day. I'm John Miller with Joe Morgan, your Sunday night telecasters in our 14th season of ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. And the Twins have had a big night. They scored early and often. A run in the first, 4 in the second. Jacques Jones has led the way with 3 hits, 3 runs scored, 2 batted in. Brad Radke has pitched 5 shutout innings against the Red Sox, and that would be double play ball booted by Walker. So Pierzynski is thrown out, but Torrey Hunter comes in to score. Minkiewicz safely in at second, and Pierzynski gets an RBI, and it is 9-1.
Well, one thing about AstroTurf tailor-made double play balls, because they get to the infielders very quickly. Walker, well, he just didn't judge the hop very well, but he's able to retire the runner at first.
Well, I was talking to some of these infielders, Rivas and Walker and a few of the guys, and outfielders as well. Jacques Jones was not very complimentary on the turf here. He says it's old, it's getting raggedy, a lot of seams with bad hops in them.
I think seams are the toughest things you have to deal with, you know, where they bring the AstroTurf together.
Luis Rivas, the hitter. Rivas and Walker both said that there is a seam that runs right through what would be the straightaway second base position. Now, I don't know if that had anything to do with what happened with Walker there, but all the hops are not as true as you would hope on the artificial turf. That's supposed to be the one thing that's supposed to be good about the turf.
And right? I think overall you're always going to get a true hop.
Now look at that, Joe. Now that's a seam.
Well, that's at first base. That's or where is it? It's first or second. It's got to be right around the bases.
That's a strike. That was around second base.
Yeah, it has to be around the bases because.
Okay, where's this one? Where's this one then?
Well, that looks like. Well, that's third. Well, that's second base as well. That's out near second.
And the fastball, and he strikes out Rivas. So it started poorly for Chen, and a run scores. Now to the top of the order coming up for Boston. They are trailing 9-1. Soda, strike one to Johnny Damon, leading it off for the Boston Red Sox, trying to get something started here for the Sox. And Radke misses with a changeup off the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Damon has grounded out to first and struck out. Todd Walker and then Nomar Garcia-Parra will follow. Boston down 9-1. That's a foul out of play. The Houston Astros had a huge lead in Philadelphia today. And then the Phillies mounted a comeback. Ultimately lost the game, but made it interesting. It was 9-3 in that game in the 5th inning, and then all of a sudden it was 9-7. Broken bat, and Koski takes it. But right now, Radke is not giving any indications that there are any big innings in store for the Red Sox. Now, tomorrow night, the Stanley Cup playoffs presented by Next Up continue on ESPN, and here in Minnesota, they are just nuts for the Wild. And the Anaheim Mighty Ducks and the Minnesota Wild. Anaheim leading 1-0 in games after a 1-0 double overtime win here yesterday. And it's a big one for the Wild. They've been a great story, as have the Ducks. How about the Ducks? If you go overtime with the Ducks, you're toast. That's 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, 4:30 Pacific on ESPN tomorrow. Who scored the 1 goal yesterday in double overtime? The game had been going on for like 91 minutes or so. Peter Sikora. 1-2 the count to Todd Walker. His flight out to shallow center and to shallow right. That one gets through on the carpet. So Walker gets a base hit.
Let's take a look at this last pitch from Radke. See, it's the changeup. Good hitting by Walker. He stayed right on it, hit the hard ground ball, and got through for a base hit.
That's the circle change.
It looked like a circle change. I'm not sure it's the same kind of a circle change that, say, Pedro throws, but it's a version of it.
Well, nobody throws one quite the way Pedro throws it. Here's Nomar. I mean, not many guys have hands like Pedro has. You know, and Red Sox fans are a little concerned about Pedro. He got knocked around by the Twins here on Friday night. 5 runs allowed the first 2 innings of that game. That is a base hit. So Nomar got a hanging breaking ball and slapped it through the left side. Walker to second and holding. Nomar's first hit.
Well, that's the same thing that we saw from against Derek Lowe. I mean, if you hit it on the ground and hit it sharply, it's going to be a base hit. Looked like that was a cut fastball or something, and he just hits it on the ground. But he hits it in the hole, he gets a base hit.
And that was the shot from K-Zone, presented by Carfax.
There's no doubt, John, if you can hit the ball on the ground on AstroTurf fields consistently, you're going to have a pretty good average. Because there's just not a lot of range that can be displayed by infielders on AstroTurf.
Well, Manny Ramirez is at the plate, the great RBI man. And Manny got 23 RBIs, and he is hitting .457 with runners in scoring position. He's got one out there right now. That one ran in on him, almost hit him. 1 ball to no strikes.
Well, he has pitched Manny basically the same way each time. He's run the fastball in to open up the outside part of the plate, and then he got to a 3-2 count, and he just threw a strike, and Manny hit a drive in the right center that Torrey Hunter ran down.
Yeah. Looked like it was a hit, but a double that died in the glove of Torrey Hunter. And that's inside. 2-0 to Manny Ramirez. Talking about Pedro. Pedro apparently suffering from a sore right groin muscle.
Yeah.
And they're going to give him an extra day before he makes his next start. He's going to pitch on Thursday against Texas. They have a day off already, which would have given him 1 extra day. He's going to take 1 more day. That ball foul. 2-1.
Well, it's definitely not a day off when you have to face Texas.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing, he pitched 9 innings his last time out and pitched a great ball game.
You mean before the
Minnesota game? Yeah. I mean, he had pitched a great game
against the Twins.
Yeah.
At Fenway Park.
And he didn't come out of the ball game because we've seen a couple of times this year where he left with leads and the bullpen gave them up.
Yeah. The bullpen. And you brought up a sore subject there for Red Sox fans. Off the outside to Manny. 3-1 to Ramirez. Trot Nixon on deck. 2 men on, 1 man out. The Red Sox, if they could put together 3-4 runs here in an inning, suddenly they'd have visions of a comeback.
Once you show the pitcher that you can score against him, things change, both in his mind and in the hitter's mind going to the plate. As long as the guy has you shut out, he feels like he's in complete control.
Radke, after all, has an 8-run lead. And Manny plans with some gamesmanship going here. He backed out after Radke was taking what he thought was a little too much time getting the sign, getting together with Pierzynski. Walker at second. Garcia-Parra at first. 1 out. 3-1 the count.
Good pitch.
That's Moore in right field.
Well, he made a good pitch, John. He got the ball in tight on Ramirez. Ramirez looking for a ball out over the plate that he could drive, and that ball was in, and he kind of inside out of the pitch. Well, he started him off inside, and I said they've been pitching him in all night. Again, he goes inside. This will be 2-0. He tried to go away. It is a ball off the plate outside. Misses out there again. And now, watch this. Fastball in, and Manny does not get to it.
And you think that had a little movement running in a little bit? Did he think when he started to swing that it looked like a little more out over the plate than it ended up being?
I think he just thought it was something he could drive out over the plate, and he just didn't get to it. I think he's looking for something away because...
Here's Nixon. That's a strike to the inside.
If you're sitting dead red 3-1 like that, even if the ball moves in a little bit, you're always going to get to it. You can still get to it. The only time when the ball really runs in on you like that, if you're not looking for nothing but a fastball, well, then it can get on you. But when you're looking for nothing but a fastball, you should be able to get to that pitch if that's what you want to do, if you want to drive it.
Trot Nixon quickly in a hole. 0-2. The first real challenge to Brad Radke here in the 6th inning. It's the first time in the game the Red Sox have had 2 base runners at the same time. Radke got a big lead, 9-1. You got Ramirez, the great slugger. Now he's trying to wrap up the inning here. 2 strikes to count. Inside to Nixon. I mean, Radke has no problem going inside on anybody.
Well, if you have the control to know that if I miss, I'm going to miss off the plate inside rather than that ball drifting back over the middle of the plate, then you should be able to pitch inside. You should be comfortable pitching anyone inside.
1-2. Just got a piece of that changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Radke making his 259th start of his career tonight, all with the Twins. That's the same number of starts that Frank Sweet Music Viola made as a Twin before they traded him to the Mets in 1989. There are only 4 pitchers in the entire Twins/Washington Senators history. And before they moved here to Minnesota, they were the Washington Senators that have made more starts for the club than that. That is foul. And we're talking Walter Johnson, the big train, one of your buddies in the Hall of Fame. Although Walter doesn't show up at the meetings anymore.
No, but we know about him.
I mean, one of the best ever.
The big train.
Jim Cott, Bert Blyleven, and Camilo Pascual.
When I was a kid watching the Twins, I used to love Camilo Pascual. He had a presence on the mound. You know, there was some charisma out there when he was there, kind of like Louis Tiant.
Well, he had a great curveball too, didn't he?
Yeah, a great curveball.
Was it? Well, of course, Bert Blyleven had a great curveball. That is through. An artificial turf hit. And that will get Walker home. And Garcia Parra over to third. Trot Nixon hit the ball on the ground and got himself a base hit and a run batted in. It is 9-2 Minnesota.
Well, he fought off a couple of good pitches, and then he got a pitch that he could, you know, put some good wood on and hit it back through the middle. We saw him chasing pitches off the plate. That one's off the plate, but it's up enough that he can get some wood on it. And right back through the middle. It also had a lot of topspin on it. You can see that ball when it hits the turf, it just kind of jumps. And Rivas couldn't chase it down.
Now Shea Hillenbrand comes up. Hillenbrand, who has 27 RBIs, he actually leads the Red Sox in RBIs. Hillenbrand in this one has grounded out twice against Radke. Moore into shallow right, and just like that, the inning is over. 1 run, 3 hits. It's 9-2 Minnesota. Jacques Jones, who has 3 hits already, coming up.
Handle pitches that were not in the middle of the plate and hit them all hard.
3 for 3 for Jacques Jones. Out into left field and caught by Jeremy Giambi.
He hit that one pretty hard. John, I want to take a moment and wish my mom, Ollie Morgan, back in Oakland, California, a happy Mother's Day. And also my wife, Teresa, happy Mother's Day. And all the Morgan mothers around the world. I wish them all a happy Mother's Day and hope they had a good day.
Happy Mother's Day. My mom, Winona.
Yeah.
She's watching tonight. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I'm with Joe, just like the last 14 Mother's Days. Joe and I always celebrate Mother's Day with each other.
And Father's Day.
Yeah, Father's Day, that's coming up to you. Yeah. And there's Linda Falk, the proud mother of Jacques Jones. Christian Guzman is the hitter.
John, I saw an interesting story, you know, about Linda. She worked at the Kentucky Fried Chicken there in California, and Tony Gwynn used to come by all the time. And Tony knew that Jock was a baseball player, and he would always ask how Jock was doing, and he said he followed him in the, you know, Baseball Weekly and kept tabs of him, and Jacques Jones became obviously a big fan of Tony Gwynn's, and they spent some time together.
Jacques has worked with Tony a little bit the last couple of off seasons.
But that's how they met, you know, because his mom would be there and Tony would come by.
But, you know, after games, it's not Tony Gwynn that he calls. He calls his mom.
Right.
And if she sees something wrong with his swing, she tells him.
Well, remember, she's the one that got him started in this game, so she's seen him from the first swing he took till now.
Well, here's what he said to you before the game.
I talked to her every night on the phone, and she was there every game I've ever played baseball. She travels with me sometimes on the traveling teams I played on. You know, she knows my swing better than anybody else in the whole wide world.
Well, and I said, well, if she says that there's something wrong with your swing, I mean, give me an example. Guzman's down on strikes. Out number 2 as Chen gets him, and Koski will come up. And he said, well, she'll notice maybe I'm a little over aggressive. You know, maybe I'm swinging too hard, or I'm pulling my shoulder. But she's so tuned in, and she's watched me play for so many years that she can detect those little things.
Well, you know what? When your mom says it, you always pay attention anyway. So good.
Well, unless you're, I don't know, 16. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
When you're 16, you don't think
listen.
she knows anything. But see, now Jacques, he's all grown up.
Yeah.
Mom says you're doing something and you need to be corrected. And Jacques' like, you're right. Absolutely right. 1 ball and no strikes to Koski. And that's too high. Hey, so happy Mother's Day to you, Joe.
Thank you.
Nice seeing you again on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Again this year for the 14th consecutive year. Corey Koski drove in a run with a sacrifice fly his last time. He takes a strike from Chen. Chen is making his Red Sox debut. He gave up hits to the first 2 hitters that he faced, but has retired everybody else since, 5 in a row. He gave up a run, although he probably should not have given up a run. A double play that should have been turned did not get turned. Todd Walker bobbled the ground ball, and instead of an inning-ending double play, or at least a double play that would have
ended in, it would have ended.
Yeah. Would have, yeah.
It would have.
I'm rethinking that now.
Yeah, no, it would have ended the inning.
Okay. And Koski strikes out swinging. So Chen has looked pretty good since then. Down to the 7th inning, 9-2 Minnesota.
It's right in the middle, about bell tie. If you could put it on a tee, that's exactly where you would put it. And it goes into the upper deck.
Now that one is hit a long way deep into right center by Varitek, and that ball is also in the upper deck. Wow, that is a home run hitter's spectacular. That's way out there in right center and into the upper deck. Not many go there. Consecutive homers, and now it is 9-4.
Well, on consecutive pitches, and that's, you know, you have a big lead. It was 9-0 at one time. I mean, 9-1. You say, well, it takes 8 solo homers to catch me. Now it only takes 6. But I mean, the point is, you still throw strikes, and if they hit the ball out of the ballpark, they still will not catch up.
Now the leadoff man, Johnny Damon. Now this is a spot where the Sox need Damon to get on base. They could make things a little too interesting for the Twins here. They get a couple more people on. The Twins bullpen gets busy now. Rick Reed has finished up his session out there, and LaTroy Hawkins has started to warm up. 9-4 Minnesota. Damon takes a strike, but it was 2-0. I think that's a good take.
Right. Well, I think so too. I mean, he's the leadoff hitter,
and they need somebody to get on base. 2-2.
And one thing about a leadoff hitter, when the score is 9-4, you're going to pretty much get the same pitch 2-1 that you got 2-0, because they're not going to want to walk you, so they're going to throw a strike, and you're going to get pretty much the same pitch.
Brad Radke has just gone past the 100 pitch mark, pitching here at the Metrodome, where he has not had success so far this year. And Damon gets himself aboard. A base hit to left field. Jacques Jones grabs it on the hop. So 2 homers followed up by a base hit. Now Todd Walker coming up with the real power hitters. Nomar, Garcia-Parra, then Manny Ramirez following him.
Well, this has happened so quickly that I don't think LaTroy Hawkins is ready yet. But, you know, they're going to send the pitching coach out to buy some more time.
Rick Anderson goes out as Hawkins continues to warm up. Well, Giambi hit one into the upper deck toward straightaway right field. And then on the next pitch, Varitek hit one in the upper deck in right center. That's Kent Herbeck territory out there. So Anderson out chatting with Radke. This is the home run that Varitek hit.
Well, that's not a fastball in the middle of the plate as the one that Giambi hit. That would look like a little breaking ball, a little slide piece or something. And he killed it.
So Varitek with his 5th home run of the year. The Red Sox have hit 3 homers against Radke. And Hawkins getting ready in the bullpen. So Radke may not be in this game much longer. If he cannot get Walker here, he may be gone. Walker 1 for 3. He singled and scored a run back in the 6th inning. Strike in the outside.
The inning started innocently. First pitch, fly ball right field.
And Miller, we didn't even say Miller was up yet. He popped out to shallow right. Deceivingly simple on that first out. 3 straight hits since then, including 2 homers. Now Walker, one of last night's heroes for the Red Sox. This one a little bit too far off the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Radke with only 1 out in the 7th and a runner at first. And it's too low. 2-1.
Well, you can see he's been very careful trying to sink the ball down and away just to keep the ball on the ground, or especially in the ballpark at this point.
Ron Gardenhire, who looked like he had a blowout in his hands a little while ago. But now the Red Sox showing some life late in the game. That's a base hit. Damon will stop at second. Walker with his 2nd straight hit. 2 men on. Now the big power hitters are coming up. Nomar Garcia-Parra, then Manny Ramirez, and Brad Radke will call it a night. 4 consecutive hits with 1 out here in the 7th. Hawkins is coming in to face Nomar. Mother's Day at the Metrodome. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, and the Boston Red Sox trying to mount a comeback now. Nomar Garcia-Parra at the plate to face the hard-throwing LaTroy Hawkins. 2 men on, 1 man out. And that's a strike call to the outside. 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
And that was right over the top, John. That's a tougher locate. You know, it's harder to pick the ball up when a guy comes straight over the top.
Look at those numbers. 13 innings, only 7 hits allowed. 15 strikeouts, and he's only walked 2. Twins, one of the best bullpens in the game. The bullpen a little bit short-handed tonight. Santana started the game here on Friday. He's still not available for tonight's game. Nomar singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. A long run for Moore, and he just does run out of room. Made the leap for it going up against that wall, but back out of play. 0-2 the count to Nomar Garcia-Parra. He's had 4 hits in 17 lifetime at bats against Hawkins.
Well, you see the leaps, and you see the wall gives away a lot, which is good. You're not going to get hurt running into it.
I'm glad he brought his glove hand back before it hit the top of that wall.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm glad you remembered to put a microphone down there, Joe. Good thinking. Manny Ramirez on deck. Damon at second. Walker at first. He struck him out.
Well, LaTroy Hawkins just throws this pitch back past Garcia-Parra because it was almost in the middle of the plate. Look at that, right about almost in the middle, belt high, and he throws it by him. But that's again because he comes straight over the top and that ball's on you in a hurry.
Well, Nomar has never done all that well against LaTroy Hawkins. Now 4 for 18, 4 hits, 18 at bats. But Manny Ramirez, it's a different story. He's got a .350 lifetime average against Hawkins. 2 on, 2 out. On the run, Jacques Jones. It's over his head. It will go to the wall and up over the wall. An automatic double that, at least for the moment, will cost the Red Sox a run.
Definitely cost them a run.
Only Damon is allowed to score. Walker has to stop at third. Manny Ramirez with the RBI double and it is 9-5 Minnesota.
And true to form, you said he hits LaTroy Hawkins well. Fastball, and that one's down a little bit, and he rips it over the head of Jones, and it bounces into the seats. And it definitely cost the Red Sox a run.
Well, Ramirez now for the season, 17 hits in 37 at-bats with runners in scoring position. Here's Trot Nixon. And Hawkins blew the fastball by him. It's 0-1.
Yeah, that was a really good fastball in that it looked like it had some hop on it right at the plate. A lot of movement.
Nixon got an RBI single back in the 6th inning. A base hit here, and suddenly we got a ball game. 2 men in scoring position. Walker at 3rd, Ramirez at 2nd. It's 9-5 Minnesota. We're in the 7th. And that one misses. A ball and a strike. There's Radke. Radke, in his last 11 pitches of the night, gave up 2 homers and 2 singles.
Well, clearly he ran out of gas because he was throwing the ball well, and he was still throwing strikes. He just got a few pitches up in the strike zone.
1-1 to Nixon. 2 men in scoring position. And a foul back out of play. Red Sox have 11 hits in this game now. 5 in this inning and 3 in the previous inning. It's this Red Sox team, one of the best hitting teams in the league. They came in with a team average of 284, and we're averaging nearly 6 runs a game for the year. Giambi got it started with a home run into the upper deck in right field. Manny Ramirez just knocked in a run with a double. He's at 2nd. Walker is at 3rd. 1-2 the count to Trot Nixon. Struck him out. And a 96-mile-an-hour heater. So, on Mother's Day, Linda Falk, Jacques Jones' mom, will be hearing from her when we come back.
Hey, Vinny. What are you doing stinking up my stuff?
These things are magic, Mikey.
Anybody can hit in these. Anybody, huh?
The new MLB Authentic Collection Performance Batting Practice jerseys and caps are here. Now, anyone can get them.
John Miller and Joe Morgan with you on Mother's Day from the Metrodome in Minneapolis. 9-5, the Twins are leading. Last of the 7th inning. And on this Mother's Day, Jacques Jones of the Twins wanted to send a special greeting to one of his favorite people in the world.
She's here this weekend, or this whole homestand, which is great for me. It's good to see her. She wants to spend Mother's Day with me. I appreciate it. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. She means the world to me.
Well, and there is Linda Falk, the very proud mother of Jacques Jones. And Linda, that was a very heartfelt greeting, I thought, by Jacques on Mother's Day.
Yes, it was.
Hey, Linda, you must be a big baseball fan. I read where you took him to his first Pony League tryout.
Yes.
All right. Now, did you play any baseball yourself?
No, I didn't. Well, I played, like, you know, in elementary school. I played a little, you know, softball, but nothing really big.
But now he says that you know his swing, that you can tell him when you've seen him and he's doing something wrong.
Yes, I can. You know, sometimes Jacques get up to the plate when he's, you know, struggling. He gets up to the plate and he tries too hard. So when I'm watching all the games, and so when he calls me, you know, after the game is over, because we talk every night. So he calls me and he goes, Mom, he goes, you know, I'm kind of struggling right now. You know, I have to tell him, you know, Jacques, you know, when you get up to the plate, just go up to the plate at each bat as if though it was your first time, you know, batting. You know, put everything that you've done, you know, prior, you know, put it behind you. And go up there, and I always tell them, just, you know, go up there and do the best that you know he can do and I know that he can do.
All right, Matthew Lecroy with a single to center, another ground ball base hit for the Twins. Well, and Linda, Jacques is having quite a night with you in attendance tonight and on our nationally televised ball game.
Yes, he is. You know, last night, you know, since I've been here since Friday. been doing so well. And he just told me last night, he goes, Mom, he goes, you need to just stay here. He said, because every time you come into town, I just do so much. And I said, it's just, knowing that I'm here and I'm, watching him, which he loves to perform when I'm around. So, he always told me, Mom, you just need to just stay here.
Well, very pleased to meet you, and happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
And Linda, you did a fantastic job with Jock.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Linda Fogg, Jock Jones' mom, on Mother's Day, and Jock made a very nice and very heartfelt, very touching dedication to her.
One of the things he said he smiles a lot, and he smiles because of his mom, because she taught him that, and she wanted him to always be happy. And you see he's smiling right there. He smiles a lot.
Ramiro Mendoza, the pitcher for the Red Sox. Garciaparra gets one and doubles up the very fast Torrey Hunter. LeCroy got the ground ball single to start the inning, but Torrey Hunter grounds into a double play. And just like that, 2 down with nobody on. Ramiro Mendoza, the former Yankee, on the pitch. He got off to a horrible start with the Red Sox. Tony Cloninger said his mechanics were all messed up. They feel like they've gotten him back in the groove now, so we'll see. But I mean, Joe, when he was throwing well with the Yankees, there weren't many tougher than he was.
No, but Tony Cloninger knows him well because he was a bullpen coach for the Yankees when Mendoza was throwing so well. So he knew what to look for when he got here, and he straightened him out.
Is Tony. Doug Minkiewicz 1 for 3. That one is hit to right field. Trot Nixon all the way back in front of the big baggie, and it falls back to Nixon on the bounce. That one up near the top of the baggie out there. And it's a double for Minkiewicz, and he almost had himself a home run.
No, Minkiewicz is a big Mark Grace fan. He doesn't use any batting gloves like Mark Grace. There's a breaking ball that stays up a little bit. I think Minkiewicz thought he had enough of it to get out, but it hits right at the top of the baggie and stays in play.
So Minkiewicz 2 for 4. And now Dustin Moore, who's had 2 hits, 2 singles, including an infield hit. 2 for 3. That's in there for a strike. I mean, it's a real short porch out there in right field. It's only 327 feet for the foul pole. And that distance does not arc out. It just goes straight across. That ball is hit high in the air into deep left center, but Johnny Damon has room out there. And that is the inning. All right, so the Red Sox have been coming back. It's now 9-5. Do they have enough to keep coming back? Minneapolis, the hometown team, the Minnesota Twins, leading the Boston Red Sox 9-5 as we start the 8th inning. And Hawkins to Hillenbrand. Christian Guzman throws him out. 1 away. Tonight we had the Nextel poll question, which was which of these ballparks gave its team the best home field advantage. And the results so far, more than 30,000 people have voted. And the biggest percentage agree with you, Joe. Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And the Metrodome number 2.
Agree with you. The Metrodome.
No, you misunderstood. I thought that the Iram Bithorn Stadium in San Juan gave the Montreal Expos the biggest home field advantage.
No, but they haven't played there enough to get a good.
They swept 4 from the Mets there right away.
No. Yankee Stadium, with all of its monuments and everything else, I think is still the toughest.
It's hard to say that. I mean, there's an intimidation factor about going in there. The historic ballpark. I mean, guys walk in there for the first time and are awed by it. It's huge. I remember when the Padres played there in the World Series, they had several guys who'd never been there before, and just talking about how that upper deck seemed like it was so close out to the field, like the people were right on top of them. Even Bob Shepard, you hear Bob Shepard announce a batter, and it sounds like a place unlike any other. Strike 3, and Bill Miller is gone. Well, this was, a couple of hits from maybe getting out of hand for the Twins in the 7th inning, but LaTroy Hawkins looks like he's not going to allow a repeat of that.
And that was a perfect curveball right on the outside edge. I mean, watch this. The straight over the top. Look at that. Right on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch. Not a lot of guys throw that overhead curveball, and then again, because it's so hard to control.
The LaTroy Hawkins fan club in attendance. That curveball hangs too high to Jeremy Giambi. Jeremy's had a 3-hit night, which is pretty good for a guy who only had 10 hits all year. He came into the game hitting 159. He homered in the 7th inning. He's had 2 singles as well. Into deep left field. Jacques Jones going back. Still going back, and it's another home run. Jeremy Giambi with an opposite field homer, which is not easy to do in this ballpark. And the Red Sox have their 4th home run of the game. Now it is 9-6.
And a 4-for-4 night for Jeremy Giambi. Started off with a couple of soft singles to center, and now he hits 2 big flies. Fastball right on the outside edge.
Well, he had that motivator, pretty good motivator. He dropped a fly ball that cost his team a run or 2. And he's been trying to make up for it ever since with his bat. By the way, that equals a career record. It's the 3rd time that he's had 2 homers in the same game. The last time was in May of last year at Montreal. That's a foul. He was with the Philadelphia Phillies at that time. Jason Varitek, he followed up Giambi's home run in the 7th inning with a home run, and it was a big fly into right center and into the upper deck. He hit it right beneath Kent Herbeck's picture out there. Used to be Herbie was the only guy who ever could hit one up into that particular area. Curveball misses. And see, that's Kent Herbeck's picture up there in between Kirby Puckett and Tony Oliva. There's Herbie.
Ball went in here.
As Bob Casey, the stadium announcer, used to call him Kent Herbeck. Jeremy Giambi's hit 2 tonight. Varitek has hit 1. The Red Sox, with 4 homers altogether, nonetheless are trailing by 3 runs. 9-6 Minnesota. At one point it was 9-1 though. And Hawkins has it. And that's the inning. 9-6. Now to the last of the 8th inning. Jacques Jones will be due up 3rd.
Coming up on SportsCenter, who will spur the Lakers on without Phil? Rafael Palmeiro's quest for a hall pass, plus an army of 1 in our Sunday conversation. SportsCenter follows the game on ESPN.
Who has what it takes to be champions? The NBA playoffs on ESPN.
And the hits just keep on coming. We've had 15 runs and 26 hits in this ball game. Twins are out in front 9-6 over the Red Sox. The Red Sox have hit all of the home runs in the game. They've hit 4. But the Twins, and most of the Twins hits, never left the ground. But they lead the ball game. Here's A.J. Pierzynski. He's 2 for 3. He's had 2 hits and 2 runs scored and a run batted in. Ground ball, but right to Todd Walker. And Pierzynski is gone. 1 away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. And the new MLB Authentic Collection Performance Batting Practice Jerseys and Caps are now available. Now anyone can get them. Just visit MLB.com. And Mendoza's curveball misses to Luis Rivas. Rivas has had an RBI double. He's singled and scored a run and struck out. 2 for 3. I mean, it's not any one Twin who's had the big night tonight. That's going to be another extra base hit for Rivas. He thought about it, but when Giambi came out of the corner cleanly with it, Rivas stopped at second base. His third hit, his second double. And now Jock Jones will come up.
Well, it was supposed to be a fastball away, and it was a sinker in, and he pulls it into the corner.
So Rivas 3 for 4. He came into the game hitting 191. Here's Jock Jones. He came into the game hitting 344, and he's had 3 hits already. Now to second, and Walker throws him out. So Jock is 3 for 5 in the game. Rivas over to third with 2 down.
And Jock's always aggressive. First pitch, he attacks it.
Meanwhile, the Minnesota closer Eddie Guardado has started to warm up along the left field line for the 9th inning. The Red Sox will have the top of their batting order up in the 9th. Here's Christian Guzman, who has not had a hit. Twins have 15 hits all told, but neither Guzman nor Koski, 2 of the starters, have any. Guzman chased that high fastball.
Well, it's a high fastball. Not exactly where Mendoza wants to throw it. Straight back.
Now, if he threw that same exact pitch again here, what would Guzman do?
Probably hit a line drive someplace.
And a sinker down and away.
Because he just barely missed that one, because he was right on it.
When a guy
underneath it.
When he has a big swing like that and fouls it straight back.
That means that he was right there. He was just underneath it, hit the bottom half of the ball.
Two and 1 the count. There's Guardado. He'll be facing Damon, Walker, and Garcia Parra in the 9th. Now it is 3 and 1. Denny Hocking is on deck. I don't know if Corey Koski had something wrong with him. They just wanted to get Hocking into the game. When Hocking came in, it was a rather lopsided score. There's Hocking. We never got a report about Koski. And it's a walk for Guzman. So now runners at first and third with 2 down, and Hocking coming up. Ramiro Mendoza with Rivas at third, Guzman at first. Guzman is the guy who could steal a base.
And now wouldn't be a bad time to steal it, except you take away the hole on the right side for Hocking.
Hillenbrand on the bag at first, opening that hole. And that's a called strike. The Minnesota Twins trying to win a series here from the Boston Red Sox. They gave the Red Sox some trouble in Fenway Park last week. They took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox there. That's too high. While Oakland was taking 2 out of 3 at Yankee Stadium from the Yankees. Meanwhile, the Twins did not do very well with the Yankees this year. They did not win a game. That's the best thing about this part of their schedule, though. They said they're done with the Yankees for the rest of the regular season. The Yanks went 7-0 against the Twins.
And when I was talking to some of the Twins, they said, you know, that's one of the reasons they got off to a slow start. The Yankees were hot and they were not, you know, and when the Yankees are hot, they're going to beat up on teams that aren't playing really well.
2 balls and a strike to Hocking. 2 on, 2 out. And he taps that one foul. In fact, the Twins have not beaten the Yankees the last 2 years. The Yankees were 6-0 against them last year. Pedro Martinez has come out. He went and retrieved that baseball. Doug Mirabelli rocking in the chair there, the Red Sox backup catcher. There goes Guzman, and the ball is fouled by Hocking. 15,641 the paid crowd at the Metrodome this evening for the rubber match of this series. And by the way, we are actually here, Joe, for the opening day. Yesterday was the opening day of the fishing season, which is big here. I didn't even bother calling you because I knew you'd be out there catching some walleye. Big Detroit Lake. There's a foul. That's out of play. The governor was out, and he caught one. Went out at 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday.
I actually had some walleye yesterday. Last night, actually, when I got in, I had walleye as part of my dinner.
Well, you had them, but did you catch them?
No. I'm not a fisherman, to be honest with you. I'd rather play golf or tennis or something.
If somebody said, Joe, I got great seats at the Indy 500. You're not an auto racing fan, but would you go?
Probably.
I mean, this is opening day of the fishing season in Minnesota. And they're a little disappointed that not that many people went because, you know, the weather was bad. Ramiro Mendoza gets the put out on Hocking. A little too cold for you, is that it? Can't take it? Top of the order for the Red Sox against Guardado when we come back. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, and now we go to the ninth inning, and there is Eddie Guardado, the Twins closer, trying to close out a win over the Red Sox, which would give them this series for the second weekend in a row. Guardado, 13 2/3 innings. Joe, he has not walked anybody so far this year, only allowed 7 hits.
Well, I mean, he is just about perfect when he goes to the mound because he throws strikes, has a good fastball, good breaking ball.
You got the high strike call there to Johnny Damon. Damon only 2 hits in 15 career at bats against Guardado. Damon 1 for 4 in this game, and he has scored a run. And quickly he's behind in the count, 0-2.
And that's what happens, I mean, with Guardado. When he goes out there, you better be ready because he's coming right after you. And if you do not get ready, you're like Damon here. All of a sudden, you're 0-2.
Guardado from Stockton, California. There's Todd Walker on deck. Nomar Garcia-Parra due up 3rd in the inning. Manny Ramirez would be due 4th and then gets people on. There's Nomar. Ooh, the breaking ball off the outside. 1-2.
Little slide piece, but it's off the plate outside.
So Guardado up and in with a fastball. Well, he moved him back a little bit there. So what do you think? Another slide piece?
No, I think he's throwing well. He has a 3-run lead. You don't want to risk walking the leadoff hitter.
All right, so put him away here. Throw him a strike.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did, and it worked. Guzman throws out Johnny Damon. You ever think of managing?
No.
If I buy a team, you're the first guy I'm calling.
No.
Sports Center right after the game. Stay tuned. Rafael Palmeiro today hit number 500. Congratulations to Rafael. A big conversation there with it's a Knight Parcells conversation, it says.
I saw part of that.
Well, what, you got like a sneak preview of Sports Center?
Yeah, Bobby Knight and Bill Parcells are very good friends, and they were interviewed together and talked about their friendship.
That foul ball got C.B. Buckner, and I hope he's all right. Ooh.
Well, it got him right in the shoulder, in the left shoulder area.
Oh, man. See, I want the umpires to go back to using those balloon protectors.
Big protectors.
Yeah. For their own well-being, first off. The Twins trainers out. Well, let's go back and have another look at that, and also as we look, listen.
Right about now, CB is probably thinking I should have stayed in Jamaica because that hurts.
It looks like he can stay in the game. His mom, who told us, is watching the ball game at her home in Jamaica.
Well, what you have is you have like a chest protector, but it does not protect your arms as much as you would like. You see him pulling up the chest protector. That will protect the middle part, but see, it got right off the edge. It's kind of like right there. That little part doesn't cover the arms. It covers right into there.
They don't have enough protection.
Yeah. Well, they figure the catcher's going to protect them most of the time. Really, the balls will foul off the catcher more than they will them.
Now look at that. CB did not even flinch. That pitch was going right toward his face, and he stayed right in there.
Well, that's the safest part. I mean, you have the mask there. I mean, it's your arms and hands that are unprotected.
I mean, he did not move even a quarter of an inch, Joe.
You're right.
I mean, right after I got pounded and almost tore my shoulder out of its socket, I'm just going to stay there like that. I mean, see me stay right in there. This is me. The pitch comes in with me.
Right in there. There's no protection.
Here's where I am.
Hey, you do that when it's coming up this way.
When that ball is coming in, I said, that's a ball. I don't need to stay. He swung. Strike 3. Walker is gone. 2 down.
Well, it's a big breaking ball. This is much bigger than the ones that he threw to Johnny Damon. You can see that ball starts toward the outside corner and breaks way off. Kind of drops down a little bit, too. And it's way off the outside corner. Walker couldn't hold up.
2 down. And Nomar Garciaparra, the Red Sox final hope. Manny Ramirez would be next. Guardado looking for his 8th save of the year in 8 tries. And that's ball 1. 9-6. The Twins leading the Red Sox. And he's missed badly twice. Too high. 2-0 the count to Nomar Garciaparra. A Red Sox fan. Got the rally cap going. And a foul that will go out of play. 2-1 the count. Kansas City won its ball game today. The Twins will keep pace with the Royals. The Royals are coming in here. That is through for a base hit. Another ground ball on the turf that ends up being a base hit. So the Red Sox are still breathing. And now Manny Ramirez comes up. Manny, however, cannot tie the ball game. He needs to get aboard as well. Trot Nixon is behind him. If Trot comes up, he would be the possible tying run. When I say Trot coming up, he's a left-handed hitter. They might not have Trot go out there if Manny gets aboard. They've got Kevin Millar, a very fine right-handed hitter they could use. But the main thing, in fact, there's Millar, and he's come out into the on-deck circle. The main thing for the Red Sox is just to get Manny on. Slider for a strike. Manny might have thought that was a little too high. He had some words there with C.B. Buckner. Manny with 1 hit tonight. It was an RBI double back in the 7th. He also got robbed of a hit by Torrey Hunter. And that's in there. Strike 2 call.
Well, there's a little more of a cut fastball type right there.
Now the crowd on its feet in downtown Minneapolis. 1 strike away. Ramirez bloops one, and that's going to be in there. Base hit. Garciaparra stops at second. Manny Ramirez on an 0-2 pitch got it done. And the Red Sox will send up Kevin Millar as the possible tying run of the game.
And that's when you're a really good hitter. I mean, he took 2 strikes. Guardado made another good pitch. Manny just reaches out and flicks it to left center field for a base hit. I mean, that's That's a guy that can hit 330, 340. As you mentioned, he led the league in hitting last year. Look at that. See, he just adjusts to what the pitch was and just kind of flips it in the left center field.
Kevin Millar, a right-handed hitter with power. He's only faced Guardado one other time. That was this season. Millar had been in the National League. Trot Nixon lifted here for the pinch hitter, Kevin Millar, and that's ball one. Millar has an average of .303. He's got 5 homers, 9 doubles, and 23 runs batted in. The Red Sox at one point in this game were down 8-0, later 9-1, and now they have the possible tying run at the plate in the 9th inning. Just missing inside.
Well, they wanted that one.
I say just missing. Let's see what K-Zone says.
Well, they definitely wanted it, and CB was correct.
So now there's 2-0 to Millar. This is a big pitch right here. The heat.
Well, but that's what happens. You sit dead red. You look for a fastball, and he throws a fastball up and away. Tough pitch to handle, and he went up out of the strike zone. But you want to be aggressive 2-0, and he was.
Nomar at second, Manny at first. Garcia-Parra, Ramirez ready to go. He had him chasing the high hard one again.
Well, he gave it away. He swung at the one up and away 2-0. So you come right back with another high fastball. This one actually gets part of the strike zone, but it looked like it was higher than the other one.
All right. Is he going higher still now?
No, I don't think so. I think you're in a situation now where you showed him 2 fastballs. Guardado has other pitches. I think he'll go with something else off speed. You can always come back with the fastball.
2 on, 2 out. The 2-2 pitch.
No, he overthrew the fastball. That's why sometimes you want to throw it high again. You're not going to get it near enough to zone.
Ron Gardenhire, earlier on tonight, it did not look like it was going to get this tense at the end.
Well, you have Shea Hillenbrand on deck. I would think that you want to finish it right here. You just have to go after it. But I've seen him throw 3-2 breaking balls quite often.
The runners will be going. Garcia-Parra and Ramirez run. And fouled out of play. You know, the Red Sox, as you remind you again, SportsCenter follows the ball game. Stay tuned, coming right along. But Grady Little and company, the Red Sox, they've seen too many games this year. We got too interesting at the end with the Boston bullpen out there. There go the runners, and he walks him. The bases are loaded for the Red Sox current RBI leader. That is the first walk allowed by Minnesota pitching tonight.
And you can see Ron Gardenhire, he just had to move. He said, I got to get up and walk around. He's got to move. He was sitting there. He felt comfortable, of course, bringing Guardado in with a 3-run lead in the 9th. But he had to move.
So now Millar leaves, and Damian Jackson, a very fast runner, goes over to run for him. He's the possible tying run. As Rick Addison, the pitching coach, is out to the mound to chat with Eddie Guardado. Wow, Guardado got the first 2 hitters. And then Nomar bounced a single over his head. The Metrodome working in Nomar's favor. Then on an 0-2 pitch to Manny Ramirez, he blooped a single into left field. And now the pinch hitter Millar has walked. They had the possible tying runs on base. Garcia-Parra, Ramirez, and that man Damian Jackson. And it's Shea Hillenbrand's task to try and get them all home. Hillenbrand is hitless tonight, 0 for 4. Strike, and it's 0-1.
See, and that's the big difference. He fell behind Millar. He got ahead of both Garcia-Parra, got ahead of Ramirez, and now he gets out in front, perfectly thrown, knee high over the outside corner. Now that gives him some margin for error. He didn't have any margin for error with Millar.
And it's 0-2. 3 men on, 2 men out. The Red Sox with 14 hits in this game, and most of them in the late innings of the game. They've had 11 hits in the last 4 innings. Two strikes to count. Into left field and in front of Jock Jones. Garciaparra scores. Ramirez scores. It's a 1-run game. 9-8 Minnesota. Damian Jackson stopping at second. The possible tying run is now a base hit away. Wow.
Well, he had him 0-2, and he tried to finish him off very quickly with a fastball in. It was going to be, this ball is in, fastball in, right off the corner, and Hillenbrand hits it into left field for a base hit. And both Ramirez and Garciaparra come in and score.
Red Sox earlier this week in Kansas City were down 6-1 late in the game. Came back and won that one 9-6. Now they're appealing over at third base that Manny Ramirez did not touch third base, but actually the home plate umpire Buckner, that was his call.
Right.
And he said no, he touched it. Worth a try?
Well, it looks like he gets the inside corner, but I mean, you can't tell from that angle. Looks like he did.
Bill Miller, the hitter. Miller 1-for-1 lifetime against Guardado. Miller had always been a National Leaguer until this year. Miller, by the way, is hitting .395 as a right-handed batter this year. 2 on, 2 out. He chased it.
Okay, now he's 0-2 again, and we'll see how he pitches. He went right after Hillenbrand. He didn't try to trick him or anything. He just went right after him. Ron said, it says move that camera.
Doug Mirabelli has come out on deck. Jackson the runner at second, and Miller hangs tough.
And a much better pitch 0-2 that time. Off the plate outside, Miller did chase it. And that's what you want. 0-2 to Hillenbrand. He came inside, and Hillenbrand got a base hit. See, that's what you want. Something running off the plate outside, or off the plate inside for that matter. But get him to chase something.
This will be Guardado's 30th pitch of the inning. There's Mirabelli on deck. Jackson the possible tying run at second. Hillenbrand the possible go-ahead run at first. The hard slider or the cutter. No swing. First base umpire Tony Randazzo on the appeal ruling in favor of Miller and the Red Sox.
And another good pitch. 0-2. Try to get him to chase it. He didn't, but again, I think he should have taken a little more time with Hillenbrand. Try to get him to chase something.
4 straight Red Sox have reached base, starting with the bouncing ball single by Nomar Garciaparra with 2 down. 9-8 Minnesota.
Ooh. Yeah, high off speed. I don't know what that was. It was up, though. Not exactly where he wanted it.
Well, Eddie is not used to throwing this many pitches in one inning.
Well, maybe it was a slider, but it was just spinning. Backup slider.
The Red Sox have scored in each of the last 5 innings, but they haven't yet scored enough. 9-8 Minnesota. 2 on, 2 out. Way outside. Sports Center right after the game. Carl Ravitch, Scott Van Pelt standing by. Damian Jackson, Shea Hillenbrand, the 2 runners. Jackson, who has excellent speed, the runner at second, the possible tying run of the game. Did he swing? No.
Well, Bill Miller's made him work hard. Well, they checked at first base. Gardenhire thought he went.
And so did Matthew Lecroy. So now the runners will be going. So an extra base hit, Hillenbrand could well score as well. Miller to shortstop. Guzman to first. Did he pull him off the bag? No! Minkiewicz with a game-saving play. Stretching out, fully extended. And the ball game is over. And Damian Jackson never stopped running. He would have scored had Minkiewicz come off the bag. And the Red Sox, Grady Little right out there to get into it with Randazzo. They thought he came off the bag. Wow, what a finish. The Red Sox at one point down 9-1, make it 9-8, and then some controversy at the very end.
Well, good job by Minkiewicz. I think he stayed on the bag. He's there. Now he falls off from this angle. From this angle, it appears that he was on there. So his toe is on the bag right there. His toe is on the bag. He has the ball. I think
he came off. Yeah.
Good play by Minkiewicz. Good call there at first base by the umpire. He already has the ball there.
And
He's
Miller
already had the ball.
Miller tripped over the
foot that came off the bag.
Minkiewicz, yeah. So a great play by Minkiewicz, who an Andres Galarraga type stretch over there. 9-8, the Twins hang on to beat the Red Sox and take this series. SportsCenter's coming up next. For Joe Morgan and our entire ESPN crew, I'm John Miller. We hope you'll join us next Sunday. We'll be in Houston. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Happy Mother's Day. Thanks for tuning in. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
Roughed up by Seattle's last time out. He'll face Mark Mulder, who tries to become the AL's third 6-game winner. In contrast to Pettit, he hasn't really been good against the Yankees. 1-4 ERA over 9. Couple of crafty lefties on the hill in Seattle. Mark Burley tries to bump up a little momentum for the previously swooning White Sox. They won last night, but overall they've dropped 8 out of 11. Jamie Moyer, from the standpoint of what he brings to the table, going for his 5th win. He beat the Yankees last time out. And then from crafty lefties to big right-handers on Sunday Night Baseball, Derek Lowe, 3-2, his ERA in the high 5s. He hasn't made it out of the 4th, though, in 2 of his last 3 starts. Brad Radke's going to go for Minnesota. Similar stats overall to Lowe, 3-3, the ERA in the 5s, but he has won his last 2 starts. And you'll be able to see that on ESPN. You'll also be able to hear it.
I cannot tell you the number of times I have sat there and went, this is just too amazing. Because it is.
Ever since Jim started playing t-ball and Randy was old enough to tag along after him, baseball has been a part of Judy Wolfe's life.
She would be the head scorekeeper. She'd keep score at all the games. Even when we weren't there, she'd be up there keeping score.
I look back when I was like 8, 9 years old, and I'm like, oh my God, what she had to put up with. I mean, that deserves a Medal of Honor right there, because I just had the worst temper in the world.
Judy's boys say they always knew they wanted to pursue careers in baseball.
As far back as I can remember, I really believed that I was going to be a Major League Baseball player. And I knew the odds were against me. And it was just something that I couldn't see myself doing anything else. I loved the game too much.
I knew that playing was not a possibility for me. And a friend of mine said, hey, why don't you try going to umpire school? And just the feeling I get when I'm out there is I love what I do. I love what I do.
After spending 2 years in the Philadelphia Phillies farm system, Randy got the call to the majors in June of 1999. Just 4 months later, Jim, who was then umpiring in the minors, got his break too. He was called up to work a game in San Francisco, where the Giants were playing the Phillies.
It was a mixture of emotions for me, because I was excited because first big league game, and nervous because it was my first big league game, and I was so pumped because he was there to share it with me.
He was at third base, we're in the third base dugout, and I was kind of messing with him the whole game.
And I kind of would look over in between innings, just kind of like, I wouldn't even turn my head, I'd just be like looking at him, corner of my eye. And he'd be sitting at the end of the dugout just going, it was cool.
The only other time the Wolf brothers have been on the field together was in April of 2001. Jim, who was scheduled to work behind the plate that day, was rotated to third base because Randy was pitching.
When you guys are out in the field together, you've heard flack. What do you think about that?
I think you're giving both of us too much credit. You know, as an umpire, most of it is just reaction. You know if the guy's out or safe, you know if it's a strike or ball. And I don't think anybody's mind is quick enough to think, all right, he's going to be safe because it's Randy's team and, I'm going to call him safe.
We both have jobs to do, and once we get on the field, it's like we're just doing our job.
Like most Mother's Days, the Wolf brothers won't get a chance to make it home to Southern California today, but Jim's umpiring crew is scheduled to work the June Interleague Series between the Angels and Phillies in Anaheim. You'll be able to tell who Judy Wolf is. She'll be the one cheering for the Phillies and the umpire.
Nobody likes the umpire.
No, except my mom. My mom, she loves the umpires. She loves the umpires.
How proud of these two guys are you?
Oh, words can't describe it. The fact that they're both nice people and are kind to other people and care about what they do, that's what's important.
It's a really neat story, Tim. Will we ever see the day when Randy's pitching, Jim's behind the plate?
No, I don't think we're going to see that day, and I don't think we should see that day either. I talked to the supervisor of the umpires this morning, and he said we will avoid that if at all possible, just because of the potential problems that could come up. Jim Wolf is a really good young umpire. He's not a full-time major league umpire yet, but he will be someday, and he's the type of guy who may get back there with Randy on the mound and may squeeze his own brother just to make sure it looks like he's not giving his brother a break.
Well, you know what? We can solve that. We can have Mrs. Wolf sitting there yelling, play fair. You guys play fair. It's probably a good idea to keep them apart, though. We continue on baseball tonight. We will revisit the circuit clouds from the week that was, and I'm sure that Randy Wolf enjoyed that one off the bat of Jim Thome. We will touch them all, and then we will put your fantasy team into focus. How it might behoove you to deal with your Colorado Rockies this week. Stay with us, everybody. Waited and waited 12 hours before the replacement bus finally got there and picked them up. You have to love the game to endure a nightmare like that. We'll go from the nightmare to your wildest fantasies in our Fantasy Focus. Player of the week, Carlos Delgado. In 2003, we've seen the Delgado of 2000 on display. He's again proving he can be a dominant power hitter. Currently ranked with Alfonso Soriano as the top hitters in the ESPN League, Delgado is on a 50-homer, 170 RBI pace. He's been padding these totals against good and bad pitchers, including 3 homers in the Texas series this past week. What happens when a woeful offensive team goes to Coors Field? Well, we'll find out this week when the Mets hit the road to face the Rockies. Mike Piazza and Roberto Alomar both can hit in Colorado, but there's 3 other guys to watch out for. The struggling Roger Cedeno has hit .304 against Colorado pitching, Kiyoshi Shinjo .349, and young Raul Gonzalez is 4 for 11 with a pair of home runs. Meanwhile, the Rockies are at home all week, so be sure you play all Colorado hitters. Seattle heads to Detroit later in the week, and these Mariners prove they can hit at the spacious Comerica Park. Mike Cameron hits .293 there, Randy Wynn .333, and Ichiro .346. As for Detroit, there are 4 stadiums where runs are harder to come by, including Qualcomm, Dodger and Yankee Stadiums, and PNC Park. So don't assume that the Tigers can't hit because of the ballpark. Ballparks aside, a few struggling but proven pitchers might be on their way to breaking out of early season slumps. Roy Halladay and Ben Sheets are 2 young strikeout pitchers with inflated ERAs of around 5. Wade Miller just won his first game on May 5th and significantly lowered his ERA. He is capable of running off a streak like he did in 2002 when he had an ERA near 9 through 4 starts and finished 15-4. But John Lackey, now there's something to worry about. Dave Campbell back with us now with some other things to look for this week. Couple of intriguing series going on, Dave. And starting tomorrow, we'll have Montreal and San Francisco, Vladimir against Bonds.
Well, you know, you got the first and third best teams in the National League record.
Jim Thome did on Friday night. Roy Oswalt served one up, and Thome unloaded. 21st ball to make it to the upper deck at the vet. Certainly that was prodigious, but the Reds had the market cornered on drama.
Breaking ball, there's a drive to left field. It's gone to Silver. It is back, and it's gone. Boom, wins it in the ninth.
Larkin swings and hits a drive. Deep left field. This one belongs to the Reds. Barry Larkin comes back to the lineup for the first time since the 14th of April and lines a home run to the lower deck and left. For the second night in a row, the Reds have pinned the loss on St. Louis with a bottom of the ninth inning home run.
High fly ball, center field. Sanchez looks up, and the Reds have done it again.
3 times this week, the Reds won with a walk-off homer. They've won 10 games in their final at-bat this season. Rafael Palmeiro on Thursday, number 499. They're looking for 500. Tim promises it's coming Wednesday.
Well, the Rangers hope it comes before then.
They'd like to do it at home, I'm sure. The responsible opposing view, the Web Gems. Mark Grudzielanek. Ground ball, the right of second base.
Grudzielanek was a great basketball player. Used to play against Tim Hardaway, so we know he's got range, athleticism. He shows them both there.
And a very accurate throw. Maglio Ordonez pulls one at going to be a 4.63. Now, Mags is
running into second here, and he does what all base runners would do. They're supposed to get those hands up, and the shortstop's got to throw around that. Fortunately, didn't get hurt on that.
Did he get the Web Gem for the barehanded play there?
I think so. And here's Robin Ventura. A few years ago for the magazine, I did Who Makes the Best Barehanded Play at Third. I went to Ventura and said, I think it's you. And he said, nope, it's Matt Williams. He's better than I am. Typical Ventura, passing along the credit, and he's still fabulous on this play.
Rich Aurelia. The liner is short, and Aurelia upstairs, snow cones it. Worthy of a Web Gem. How about Greg Maddux? 13 gold gloves. This one against his old pal Andres Galarraga. Might have given him a little extra time.
I think so. I think Maddux, Jim Cott, maybe 2 of the best fielding pitchers of all time. That's a push.
Jody Garrett. This just happened last night. It was a late addition to the week of Web Gems. I don't know if there was a better play out there.
Right. And playing right field, left field is difficult because there's foul territory to deal with, walls and everything else, which makes it different than center field.
All right, Tim, on this Sunday, on this Mother's Day, what's the most important thing we'll see today?
Well, we need to look for Rafael Palmeiro. I'm also looking for Bruce Chen to get in the game. He's 25 years old. This will be his 7th team. The last guy to do that, Egyptian Healy, in the 1800s.
7 o'clock Eastern Time, the next baseball tonight. Chris Berman, Bobby Valentine, Harold Reynolds will be here. See you later.
Well, hello there. Welcome to Baseball Tonight, a historic day in baseball, a historic baseball tonight, and a happy Mother's Day from all of us here at ESPN to all of you. Chris Berman, Harold Reynolds, Bobby Valentine.
Hey, Chris.
One of your guys, huh? One of your guys. You knew him when?
I knew him when he was a singles hitter.
You knew him when?
Know him now.
He is no longer a singles hitter. But what are some of the things that we can jump on out of the box? The biggest story in a moment. But in a game that didn't count, I'll tell you what, a lot of offensive stats went out the window with the way the wind was blowing.
This is one of those days, I don't want the ball, neither do you.
You take it.
Oh, hey, Jimmy Edmonds popping up, St. Louis at Chicago. That's Moises Alou. Now watch this.
I got it. You take it.
Hey, that's not the Gas House gang with the Cardinals, is it?
Alou looked like a pass pattern.
He did, or a test pattern. Hey, how about this? A visiting player, Eric Gagne. Wait a minute. He's from Montreal. The biggest crowd they had there this year. And he pitched a 1-2 ninth, and watch what happened. Hey, sacré bleu. Oh, well, the Expos lost, but he's a Quebecois. Meanwhile, not a safe day.
You said, oh?
Not a safe day.
Did you say, oh?
Not a safe day.
My.
What'd you say? Not a safe day?
Not a safe day. It's Mother's Day. He's show a little respect.
Boy.
Biggio, at least that was a curve.
Exactly.
Not a safe day. Ouch.
Padding everywhere except for the ball hit.
However, it was a very safe day if you wanted to make some history. 18 players have hit 500 home runs in the history of Major League Baseball, a game that spans over a century. On this day, on Mother's Day, Rafael, Emerson, Lake, and Palmeiro had a chance to be, oh, what a lucky man, and become number 19. Texas at home, final game of their homestand against the Cleveland Indians. Would this be the day for Rafi? Mom, mother-in-law, all at game, first at bat, second inning, it's a double.
Well, the last 3 or 4 games, he really started swinging the bat well, so you knew it wasn't going to be very long if he didn't get it in this particular game.
His mom, Maria, his brother, Rick, there. Then the home crowd wants to see it. With the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th, the pop-up. His wife, Lynn. But it's the homestand, bottom of the 7th, the next chance.
He gets it. Baseball history in Arlington.
There's Lynn. There are his teammates. Hey, fair ball, Bobby, huh?
Yes, not an easy pitch to keep fair, Harold. You know, kind of up and in a little, and he took those hands in. He has a beautiful swing.
How about this swing, right? You knew him as a singles hitter, not anymore.
Got as pretty a swing as anybody, and consistent is what I would use for him.
Congrats, 500 home runs. And then they take the stuff off the wall, and then he goes out to take his position and then leaves to the standing O. Congratulations to Rafael Palmeiro. And you know what, Mom? Happy Mother's Day. How about the fact that a priest caught the ball? The collection plate is on Sunday, right, guys?
Absolutely.
So, oh, by the way, the Rangers, the Cowboys beat the Browns 17-10 in this game. So, Rafael Palmeiro and Sammy Sosa have done it this year. Only the 3rd time that 2 players have reached the 500 home mark in the same season. Mickey Mantle, Eddie Matthews, 1967. Harmon Killebrew, Frank Robinson in 1971. And now, Rafael Palmeiro, 19th. And just look at the names. Next up is Eddie E. Trink and B. Murray at 504. He and Sammy now cruising upward, 500 plus. And then, remember when McGuire and Bonds did this recently, guys? You start Mel Ott and Eddie Matthews and Ernie Banks and McCovey and Ted Williams and Jimmy Fox and Mickey Mantle at 536. I mean, they come in a hurry.
And you can almost write 30 more for Ralphie this year. So he's got 10 now. That's a 40-homer season, very well in the reach.
And this is
a lot of those guys are going to get erased.
And this is a man that really, his first 4 full years in the bigs, home runs 14, 8, 8, and 14. But boy, Rafael Palmeiro, have you changed that? Congratulations on number 500. Tip or cap from all of us to you. And an applause as well, Rafi.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Hey, was this more relief or elation, or what was it like when you saw the ball stay fair?
It was more of a relief. You know, I had 6 days here at home, the homestand, and I came in with 498, and I thought, you know, it's a good chance to do it in front of the home folks, in front of the family. And it came down to the last at bat, so it was a lot of pressure. But boy, am I relieved that it's over with.
Ralphie, you know, a couple weeks ago we were talking about this milestone. You're a guy who sets goals. Is 600 entered into your mind yet, or are you still trying to sit on this 5 still?
Well, you know, I think that I can play long enough to get to 600, but I need to stay healthy. I need to keep working hard. I work very hard in the off season, but just, you know, stay focused on the things that I'm capable of doing and just, you know, help my team. That's really the bottom line.
Rafi, Bobby V here. You've always had one of the most beautiful swings in the history of the game of baseball. What do you think turned it from a good swing to a power good swing?
Well, Bobby, you know, you were here when we were going through that. You know, I think Robbie Thompson helped me. I think you helped me tremendously to develop more into a power, more, you know, pull type hitter. And, you know, it happened early on in the 90s, but I've been able to you know, take it to the next level.
You've been consistent and consistently great. We're proud and happy for you, Rafi. Great job.
Thank you, Bobby.
Rafi, 500, you knew it would happen this year at some point when you went into the season so close. So you've had a chance to think about what it means, or have you? 500 home runs. Can you put into words what that means to you and what it means for your career?
Well, it's a great accomplishment, obviously. It's something that you know, early on I didn't think about. You don't really set any type of goals like that. But when I look at the names of the great players, you know, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds, Ted Williams, Mickey Mantle, those are the greatest players of all time. And for my name to be up in that group, it's just, I mean, it's a tremendous feeling. Right now, you know, I'm numb. But, you know, one day I'll really realize what it means.
Well, you're going to climb up that list, as we just showed. Congratulations. Enjoy it. And I'm sure you're happy to do it at home. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Well, I know Bobby, Harold, you've known him a long time. I've known him quite a while, but you managed him, Bobby. I mean, here's a guy that Okay, from 93 to 2002, remember there's a strike year in there, so that's 10 seasons, 5 of 30 plus, 4 of 40 plus, and he never had a 30 until that year of 93, which he was describing. What made the difference in your eyes? What do you think?
Oh, I think just getting firm on the front side. You know, he used to be a little soft there, but, you know, also he's so modest, a guy, that people take his modesty for words, where he says, oh, I'm not that good. Oh, other guys are better. And then everyone says, oh, yeah, everyone's better. He's not that good. He is that good, and there aren't many that are better. He's a great player.
Yeah, I've always been impressed with his consistency, his work ethic, and to me, also, he's a complete player. I think we sometimes forget. We think a guy that hits home runs is just a home run hitter. He's going to hit for average. He's going to drive in runs, and he's going to steal bases in his early days. He doesn't run much anymore, but he had 22 stolen bases one season back in '93 with 37 home runs. I mean, he's done some great things in his day.
500 homer, you don't have to run in 500 homers. You have to trot, right? You have to know how to trot. Just to put it into perspective, he's 22nd on the RBI list. We talk about names this year alone. He has passed Rogers Hornsby, Al Kaline, Harmon Killebrew, Andre Dawson, Mike Schmidt, George Brett. That's so far this year on the RBI list.
Wow.
Yikes.
And the first Cuban-born player to reach that 500 milestone mark. Congratulations again.
More on Rafi when we continue and his place in history on this day. When we return, the teams of the two best records of the National League, Giants and Braves, go out of the rubber game. The Marlins make a managerial change. Is it his fault, and can Jack McKeon change it? And Web Gems always have our Sunday best, especially for Mother's Day. You want to do it right. Stay with us. Two teams flying at this point. Jason Schmidt, who's been impressive, but not impressive if you're Gary Sheffield.
I'll tell you, that's 95 on the, just below, that's on the wrist.
No.
Patted everywhere but there.
Yeah. Bottom fifth, 3-2 Giants. Rain coming on, but Javi Lopez coming on. And off the bottom of the wall. Javi gonna leg for second, safe.
I tell you, it's amazing when a player gets hit that early in the game, too. Now the pitcher has to leave the ball out over the plate, and that's what hurt Schmidt today more than anything else, hitting Sheffield early.
And this is Rafael Furcal, and you know he's going to be no play on him when he runs into second base. Lopez scores. Schmidt then high on Marcus Giles. Pitching coach Rags, Dave Brigetti out to talk, and then Gary Sheffield. Well, okay, so you hit him. So where's this going on 0-1? The other way, and all the way to the backstop, moving both runners up.
Absolutely.
This offense is firing on all cylinders right now, though, Chris. And I'd yank a few if I was pitching also.
You know, Furcal just motors in from third, and it's 4-3 Braves. Shortly after that, a rain delay of almost 2 hours. Sheffield leaves the game, and now we come back. Eighth inning, it's 4-3 Braves, and Javi Lopez sends it back. Gone. His sixth. So a tight game now becomes a 7-4 win for the Atlanta Braves. 7-3 win for the Atlanta Braves. And so Giles 3 for 3, Javi 3 for 4. You saw the big home run. The Braves offense, fellas, you know, they've changed a lot of pitchers, but they've changed the way they play offense. And this is through May 11th last year. Batting average, yikes. A difference of close to 50 points. Runs a game, it's a run and a half. You can do all the other math. When you're firing that way, guys.
1986-87, his first two major league seasons, he hit 17 home runs in 294 at-bats. However, the next 3 years, Palmeiro hit only 30 homers in 1,737 at-bats. Then the power started to come. In 1991, the year after leading the American League with 136 singles, Palmeiro hit 26 homers and led the AL with 49 doubles. He was starting to pull the ball. In 1992, 21 of his 22 homers were hit to right field. In 1993, he hit 37 homers. His assault on 500 truly began in 1995, his second season with the Orioles. Palmeiro blasted 39 home runs, beginning a streak unmatched in baseball history, 8 straight seasons with at least 38 homers. Perhaps the onslaught was inspired by being slighted by the Rangers, who signed free agent first baseman Will Clark, not Palmeiro, after the 1993 season. More likely, it was perhaps the best swing in baseball coming together, with perfect blend of quick hands, exquisite timing, and hidden strength in a 6-foot, 190-pound body. As a kid, Palmeiro's father wouldn't let him watch TV unless, while watching, he would squeeze tennis balls to strengthen his hands, wrists, and forearms. It worked. At age 38, Palmeiro has joined the greatest home run hitters in history. Quite a feat for a guy who once led the AL in singles.
And Mulder got in trouble early on in the first inning. 2 men on. Hideki Matsui at bat. Nick Johnson breaks for second to throw from Ramon Hernandez. 2 seconds. Soriano breaks for the plate. He scores. Yankees go up 1-0. Matsui still up with a man on second now, but Mulder gets him swinging for the 3rd out. Tie game at 1, bottom of the 2nd. Adam Pyatt, ground ball to short. Enrique Wilson showing the range. Nice pick and throw, and that would save a run. How do we know it saved a run? Well, the next batter, Ron Gant, with the bases empty, takes Andy Pettitte out. So instead of a 2-run shot, it's a solo home run, 2-1 Oakland. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Miguel Tejada struggling after winning the MVP last season. Not on this pitch. This one going deep. Does it have enough? Yeah, just barely. Home run number 8 for Tejada. That made it 3-1 Oakland. A long ball was flying all day in Oakland. Top of the 6th. Enrique Wilson, no homers on the year. Enrique Wilson, first homer of the year. That cut it down to a 3-2 ball game. Later in the inning, after Mulder walked 2 Yanks, Matsui at the plate. He'd struck out in the first. He strikes out here in the 6th. Matsui 0 for 4, left 5 men on base in this game. Charles Gibson with a rare at bat in the 7th inning, but Mulder got him on a strikeout as well. He went 1-2-3 in that frame. 8 innings, 8 strikeouts for Mulder. Bottom of the 7th, Eric Burns opened up the game. Runner on, he gets him off with a solo second, with his 2nd home run, making a 2-run job. That made it a 5-2 ball game, and Matsui went in the game. He struggled all afternoon, 4-6-3, and that finishes it off. Yanks dropped their first road series of the season. 5-2 is the final. Keith Bolt came in, took care of business after Mark Mulder basically shut down the Yanks all day long.
He did indeed, and Andy Pettitte, those 3 home runs he allowed equaled his career high for a game. It's actually the most he's allowed in a game since August 29th of '98, a span of 129 starts. Enrique Wilson, his 14th career home run in his 402nd Major League game. Not enough, though. Yankees lose to the A's, 5-2 the final. And Andy Pettitte has 3 of the 7 losses from the Yankees starters this year. Sunday in keeping with his feast or least season. In his 4 wins, an ERA of 1.67, 24 strikeouts, didn't allow any home runs. But his other 4 games, 3 losses, 1 no decision, ERA close to 9, struck out only 10, and allowed 5 home runs.
9. Enrique Wilson playing short. Derek Jeter returns on Tuesday. Adam Pyatt to the hole. Enrique, show me some glove. Wilson gets Pyatt at first. Bottom 2, Menechino at the plate. That's ripped. Get over there with a web gem. Wilson steals a hit away from Menechino. Side retired. Top 6, 3-2-1 liftoff. Enrique going to left. First home run of the season. Yanks down 1. Wilson played short. Bernie DH. Charles Gibson was in center. Bottom 7, Eric Burns getting filthy here. A 2-run shot. 2nd of the season. Time of the game, 2:25. Pettitte ties a career high. Gives up 3 homers. First road series loss of the season for the Yanks.
Derek Lowe trying to whittle down his road ERA, which is a Spinal Tap-like 11.
Ouch.
Actually, and change, and oh goodness, it would get worse here. Bottom 2, One Love, Twins, 2 on, 2 out. Luis Rivas facing Lowe, and that's down into the corner. It's a big-time deal, almost as big as the start of walleye season, which started Saturday. 2 Love Twins. Jock Jones in the 2nd. Smokes 1 down the first base line as well. A.J. Pierzynski and Rivas come in to score. Jones with a triple after Trot doesn't trot. He stumbles. Jones 3 for 5, 2 RBI. 4 Love home team. Bottom 4 bases are drunk full of Twins, and Guzman off of Lowe into the gap, and whoopsie, Jeremy Giambi no good. 7-0 Twins. Lowe, 4 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 10 hits, the ERA up to 11.5 and change on the road. Top 9, here come the Sox. Everyday Eddie. Shea Hillenbrand with the bases loaded. That finds some real estate, no more, and Manny come in and tap the dish. It's 9-8 Twins. The Sox won't die. Bill Miller, 3-2 pitch. Miller with a grounder to Guzman. Routine, right? Hold on now. Doug Mientkiewicz, is he on the bag? Oh, yes, indeed, says Blue. One more look. Miller's down and also out. Difficult to say for certain, but regardless, the Twins hold on to win 9-8. They've won 10 of 12, lost in 9-3, though, in one-run games.
Still to come, 75 points at the half. Sounds like a Mavs game. Nope. Sixers, Pistons, 75, a combined effort. Oh, Eastern Conference excellence is coming up. And during the game, Dick Fick provided the antics. After the game, he turned...